So hot, they wish it were a breeze. Girls can't help but cock block when they just wanna sit down under the trees. Can't help.
Yeah, that part. I don't know where y'all at, even if y'all are even out there. However, no offense, it doesn't matter. This show must go on. But let me get some motherfucking theme music. How about that? Give whoever some opportunity to go get some popcorn or whatever it is that your vices are. Chocolate cake, I'm not judging, you know what I'm saying? We got Happy Skies in the building. What's up, Happy? Happy is in the building. Gotta give you a round of applause. Making it interesting and all that. How are you tonight? How are you? How's things? Happy, I would guess. Or that would be just too cliche to say to you. It's too cliche to just assume that you're happy. Is this mic too loud? Happy Sky? I have a question. Is it really the age of Aquarius yet, or is it Pisces still? Nah, baby, it's Aquarius age now. I tell you that for sure. I'm gonna type it too while the music plays.
It's hard trying to weather them humidities. When it ain't their fault, they're in a different class of DNA. Scheduled for 1 in the fall when they post on the wall. Wall scream till your name. And the crowd goes wild, wanna wrestle on the ring, trying to pin them down. Learn the ropes with hopes the top come down, but they ain't get eye contact in a while. Hell was fit in the freeze, but the bitches got sad food degrees. Would've traded in their D's for some A's, but here they all stuck with them G's. They be ready just to give them away. The committee always say pretty please. When they're larger than life, they're in the way. It's hard trying to weather the
That's good, but yo, I do got some baby oil though. I do. I got some left. It's like that much left in the bottle. But yo, I do got some baby oil left. Shit lasts me for a minute though, you know. I use my baby oil, you know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't even gonna get deep into it, man. I ain't even gonna. You got baby oil? Yo, that's a good question too. I got mine though. I should have brought that shit out. Just for theatrical purposes. Theatrical purposes. Come on, let's get this theme music going on. Let's give some people a little bit more time to come through. A little bit more time. Enjoy this theme music.
for a piece of change. Maybe it's in us though, you know.
Mag, what's really good?
Breaking free.
Good to see you, brother.
All of a sudden I'm a public figure. That comes with watching over the ones which you're observing. What's for dinner before nothing in her husband served substance. She put nothing in her but fries, drums, sun kiss, tongue kiss with liquor. Dumb stressed, one of her checks go to her liver.
Thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate that. Word up. Even if you just breezing through. Oh, you bartending right now. That's what it is.
I feel her goals half time. I feel them bigger. Spends tons of money so I comfortably sit her. Come get her whenever she stressed about some nigga. Thinking about getting her a raise while that sundress nigga look thicker. Her favorite number 8, go figure. Ain't intimidated by the stage, but this combination's made for a front page picture. I really born is a fun time.
What is this?
But she's turned on to my sublime. Way how I got away from my ways when I was running away from the one time.
Okay.
Said she let me in it one time.
Oh, you came through, that's what counts, man. I appreciate that. Word up. Appreciate that.
It's so hard not to live with my alumni. It's hard, yo. I'm training her on how to behave, using the whisper.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm still working with it. I'm still, you know what I mean, trying to come up with backdrops and stuff like that blends nice and, you know what I mean?
When I apply it, the
working on it, I'm tweaking it up.
So now it's science that makes her lose
Serving
self
up
and melt
spirits.
fire hydrant. More she
Exactly
buys
what
it, I
that
understand
is.
my assignment. Her being fine adds temperature to climate. Told her search somewhere else, but she don't find it. So fine
Perfect
with
for a
being the
bartender.
study when I designed it. In case it's the case that'll shake foundation. To give her the 101 like Dalmatians. Obstacles face them rather than bout face them. But absence got her looking at me like a bad bitch. Used to savages and be grabbing for my package. Really not it's a fun time. But she's turned on to my sublime. Way how I got away from my ways when I was running away from the one time. She plays and she let me in it one time. Put the beat on her like a drum line. And she pays me to help her unwind. But it's so hard not to live with my alumni.
This ain't the baby oil, this the other oil, right? This my other oils right here. Yo, I'm not throwing away my baby oil, I'll tell you that. Wait, who was typing underrated Benjamin? I'm confused. That's me. I was just typing instead of talking because, you know, the music was playing, the theme music was playing. I ain't want to disrupt the energy like that, so I just started typing, you know. But welcome to another episode of Astrology After Dark. I appreciate everybody for being here, even if you come through late, even if you don't come by, but you happen to be on the playback. I appreciate you for being here, straight like that, you know what I mean? Because you took time out of whatever you was doing to come mess with me in some type of way. So I appreciate that, you know what I mean? So, again, how's everybody doing out there? I hope everyone's doing well. We're about to do our thing, you know what I mean? And it's Libra season, so happy Libras. Happy birthday to all, happy solar returns to all of the Libras out there. I'm gonna just say it right now. I'm probably gonna say it every episode that I do focused on Libra, but you know, let's give a round of applause for the Libras. Let's do that. You know, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we got the spotlight, we got the sun on Libra right now. So obviously the most primary thing that we could be looking at right now is relationships, and this might be difficult and challenging for some, but it might be exciting for others. You know, this might be the time that you want to curse out your baby mother, your baby father. This might be the time you want to curse out your husband or your wife, or your ex-husband or your ex-wife, or your exes, or your bitches, or your hoes, your side pieces, your situationships. You know what I'm saying? You might want to put in some grievances right now, because a hoe ain't just acting right, you know? But whatever it is, leave your troubles at the table. We gonna address certain things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna allow y'all to participate per usual. You're gonna have an eclipse soon. Yeah, we are gonna have an eclipse soon again in my second house of money. Yeah, talk about it. Gotta do the Birdman rub for that. Yeah. Talk about that manyan. But Pierre Zam, shout out to Pierre from all the way from Australia. Again, you know what I'm talking about? Had a birthday on Wednesday. That's right. You sure did. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. Shout out to you, big Libra in the building. You know what I mean? So, yo, like I said, right? We're going to, come on, we got to blow our horn for and solar returns, baby. We doing laps, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. More life. Relationships are not the simplest thing, but it's not just about relationships either, y'all. It's also about the public arena. I always say that I feel the most sympathy. Yeah, I guess, because I'm really not sympathetic, so that might be a little bit of but if I feel for any sign in the zodiac, it's the Libras. Reason being, they have no anima in their sign. You know what I mean? It's just a scale. So it's always looking to view, measure, and interpret in a way that balances things out. So in the process, it's normal for them. It's a little bit Piscean. I'm not gonna say it's Piscean, but it's a little bit like you gotta step outside of yourself on a continuous basis to measure, and in that process you get to losing yourself is pretty much what I'm saying. So the challenge is to identify with identity. You know what I mean? Self-identify. So just think about that. At the public at large, the seventh house, which Libra naturally rules over, you got to play ball, B. So when they be like, oh, they ain't playing ball, we ain't rocking with them, we canceling them, cancel culture and all that shit, that's because you've been exposed to the public arena in some type of way. You got some type of audience. I don't care if it's 3 people, if it's 30,000, if it's 3 million. You got some type of audience, and now all of a sudden they have turned on you, or they feel this way about you, or they feel that way about you. And the next thing you know, you got a headline, you're in the news, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's the public arena for you. And it's like, this is also when you get into bed with other people. So they'd be like, oh, that one is in bed with so-and-so, such and such. It's a figurative use of speech, right? But when we think about what it naturally rules over, which is relationships, you do end up getting in bed with the broads. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all get in bed with the dudes, or whoever y'all getting in bed with. Let me not even do that, right? But you get in bed with somebody, and then we'll get more into that in Scorpio season. But you get what I'm saying, right? Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are type shit when you're dealing with the Libra playing field as well. Libras I always think are kind of boring and non-descriptive, but I mean, they're polite. They are kind, they are cordial until they're not. I tell you that too. Until you poke them too much. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are pretty. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They very they got the gift of gab. I give them that. They got the gift of gab. They know how to talk to people. They know how to talk to people, and until they don't as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that scale. But when balanced, I would say when they're in the right state of mind, they are very people-y people. Let's put it that way. And when that's applied to the bigger picture of life, you need that in order to have some type of sanity in this world. You need that to have some type of society, right? Think about it. If everybody's just going ape shit, you can't have a society, B. You can't. Somebody has to come in and intervene, interject, and do some type of intervention and say, look, let me hear your side, let me hear your side. This is where the law comes in. Let me hear both y'all sides, and then we're going to come to an agreement, right? We're going to come to some type of settlement. Hear these words, right? J-Lo and Britney equals Libra risings. Is that right? Well, care to elaborate further on that? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I see an opportunity there, but I'm not going to do that. But the public arena, right? Why is that up there? I don't even want that up there. First of all, let me just toss this up here because that's how I viewed myself starting this anyway. Since we're talking about the public arena, right? We're talking about the public arena right now, and stuff like this is what happens, what can happen when you take action in the public arena. You know what I mean? So this right now is something that I only thought happened in Europe. Like, I'm just keeping it a bean. Or should I say, in other countries besides ours is where I thought stuff like this only happens, where people or governments or the people get together and they start banning stuff like foods that basically borderline kill you. Now listen, right? I'm going to sound off these companies because they done made the news. They done made headlines. You're up, buddy. You're it. We're playing tag. You're it. So I don't want to hear shit. Don't flag me on this. Y'all did this shit to yourselves. I've been talking about how motherfuckers was putting paint thinner in the kids' cereal. In the kids? Why y'all fucking with the kids, B? Like, where's the press release? I'd like to know who's the fucking secretary, president of your company and all that. Like, I would want to know all of that. But all right, I'll take this for now. Round of applause. I'll take this for now. This seems like a victory for us, for the people, right? You got Lucky Charms up there looking crazy in the face right now because it ain't so fucking lucky that you putting shit in people's cereal. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Then we got Flaming Hot Cheetos. I like Cheetos. Yo, Happy Sky, you like all the snacks, it seems. Like, yo, you are hazardous. So, look, we got to give another round of applause because we got to save Happy Sky, man. We got to save Happy Sky. What the fuck? She, like, eats all the snacks. Fuck out of here. Flaming Hot Cheetos, yeah, your ass is up there, too. Yellow 5, whatever the fuck that is in there. Yeah, y'all asses is on the chopping block. Fuck that. Oh, hold on. We gotta make it clap. We gotta make it clap because Licious Booty has entered the building as well. Come on, man. What's up, Licious Booty? What's really good with you? You know what I mean? We gotta make some motherfucking noise. You got 2 packs of Oreos in the fridge, Happy? Because Oreos is up here too. Look at this. Ain't this some shit? But you know something is up with Oreo. Who seen that TikTok video when it shows what the symbolism means for Oreo? Y'all seen that? Y'all peeped that? Oreo. Wicked. Just wicked. Right in people's faces all those years. Got people double dipping and, you know, just abusing that milk with your fuckery. Just... Then don't y'all got like a Coca-Cola out right now? Let me shut up. I think y'all got like a soda out now. Y'all done did a merger with Coca. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't even care, do you? Okay. And Gatorade, oh my. Yo, who sees those YouTube videos with the older gentleman who makes all of those commercials about what if they were telling the truth during a commercial? I think he did one for Gatorade, and I was so happy when he did it because I'm like, yo, how nobody sees this? Like, nigga, do you know we can see you? Cat Williams' voice, like, it's mad, like, food coloring, right? Food dyes is in Gatorade. Like, who y'all think y'all playing with? Y'all supposed to be thirst quenching out there? The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It's disgusting. It's despicable. So, states looking to ban it. California. That's right, Cali, stand up. New York, okay. We ain't as red as California, though. Why not? What the red in it? I can't see all of that, but it probably means we ain't wholeheartedly behind it. PA, New York, what's that? Is that Montana or Missouri? I got nothing to say about Missouri right now. I got nothing. It's quiet for them. It's clipped for Missouri. I'm not even going to go there. And whatever other state this is right there. I did pass history and geography, but I'm not feeling it right now. Not Gatorade. Yeah, Licious Booty. Gatorade is up there. Chopping block. Got they asses too. Nana, you got to pray the forever chemicals away before you consume. Real talk. Like, you really got to pray before you eat your foods now. However y'all do it. Y'all mantras, y'all... I almost slipped and said seances. But whatever you do, your ceremonial magic, do it before you eat any and all of this stuff out here, B. Because these motherfuckers is wild. They out here playing with us all in our face. Pause, because that's crazy work. That sounds wild crazy. But they are. And now we got some victories, some slight victories. In Europe, they don't play that shit. That's why I always give Europe they props. They be fighting, B. Without fists and all that. Like, they be fighting in them courtrooms. Like, fuck is you doing trying to sell us this shit? This hazardous bullshit. America's just having a ball with it. Like, oh, they don't even look twice in the FDAs. It's, oh, yeah, sell it to them. Kill them. Just please, go kill them fast, quick. Please go kill the Americans. Don't give a fuck about us, B. But we give a fuck about us, right? And that's the whole point. That's why we putting the light, shining the light on this public arena. You know what I'm saying? This is where the avatars agree. And I say that because think about it like this, right? Say this is a hologram, this life that we're living. We all get our own individual avatars, right? There's going to come a time where we interact with someone else. And that's what Libra is. That's the basis of Libra. By coming together or just going face to face with an avatar and being like, hey, how you doing? What's good? You want to hang out or whatever? You want to have a conversation? You want to have some coffee, some tea or some shit? You understand what I'm saying? So this is where the avatars agree to link up, meet each other. You can no longer say, "Oh, I never met that person before." You said, "Goddamn lie." You can't say you wasn't on that flight log. You wasn't on that flight. Yes, you were. We got the log. We got the list. But the point of putting up that photo though was to show that the public can fight back. We was just talking about that shit in the last 2 episodes about health and stuff like that. And look what I found. Like I think that's beautiful. Kind of like it's kind of like magical in a way for me because I'm like, yo, we was just talking about that. Maybe just having a conversation is grounds for changing some shit in our world. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Why does this keep popping up? I don't know. Not talking to y'all, but talking to myself out loud. So let's begin. Let's break the ice some more. Let's get in. Let's get into this shit, y'all.
I've seen it enough that I know how it's like. It is beautiful. There's a guardian of the library. So when you come in, well, I come with the person, and the first thing they want to know, oh, okay, it's you again. What do you want to know now? You know, because they know me. So that everything I've written about, my research, I ask them questions, I can have the information because the library contains every information you can think of. This is how I got the information I wrote about Earth mysteries, about Atlantis, all these things by going to the library. Because the library has everything that is, all the knowledge that has ever happened and all the knowledge that ever will be, that we cannot possibly imagine, is all in this library. So to me, it's a most favorite place. And if you want, you can see it as books. You can see it as energy. People have asked me about the Akashic records. They're there also. You can have access to them. But this is the way you want to obtain the information. You can do it by reading or by accessing the scrolls or however you want to get it. But there are other ways to do it also. This is how I've got a lot of the things I've written about. Along the sides of the library are rooms. In these rooms, it's rather like going in Star Trek in the holodeck. You step into those rooms, and if there's something you want to know about, it appears around you, and you're right in the middle of it, and you can see it happening. And that's how we found out about the lower astral. We didn't want to go there. They just took us there and showed us these things. So when you're in the rooms, you can see anything you want and have all knowledge that you want. So you can see why I love this, because this is where I get the things I write about, is in the library. It's just so wonderful. So that's the library. And the other places are the schools. Now they said in these schools, you also go to the level that you vibrate at, your frequency is at. You know, my idea of heaven, what they always talk about, floating around on a cloud, playing a harp. That'd be so boring. That's not for me. I'm always looking for information. My idea of heaven is the schools. Because in these schools, you can have all knowledge of anything you possibly want. Everything is possible to be learned over there. So I asked them, okay, if you can learn everything there is over there, why do you have to come back to Earth? Wouldn't that be easier? They said, no, because over there, it's like book reading versus hands-on experience. You can read about it, but you're not experiencing it. And they said you do. You learn a lot, but it'll take much, much longer because you're not having the hands-on experience, the interaction with people. Because they said, yeah, you can read about love, hate, jealousy. You say, well, it's not hard. I can do that. But you get down here and you get in the middle of it, everybody else's emotions. It's not easy at all. But you learn so much more than you would over there. It's just like if you went to college and took chemistry, you're in the laboratory. You can read about chemistry, you can read about the chemicals, but do you really understand it till you go into the library and start mixing the chemicals? You have to have the hands-on experience. The same way we're learning auto mechanics. You can read about how a motor works and how to tear it apart and put it together, but do you really understand till you go and start taking it apart and putting it together? That's the difference. So they said that's why we choose to come back, because we can learn faster, We can pay our karma back, and we can be finished much easier. So we choose to come back, and we make our contracts with these other people.
Yeah. So shout out to Dolores Cannon, who's been putting in her work for some years now. Um, yeah, it's like this. Now, this is what inspired me to, or inspired me for this video too, because someone sent that video to me a little while ago, and I'm like, something that grabbed me when I seen this video was how she was talking about life after death, or the afterlife, or what have you, right? And through my astral projections, I'm familiar with some of the places that she was talking about. I can't say that I have like a roadmap of how to get there and how to travel there on command, should I say. However, I have been privy to a couple of those places. And the thing that I found interesting about what she was saying was the library, the most interesting part, because I think my people sent this to me last season in Virgo season. So I was analyzing it, critiquing it, and it dawned on me, okay, Libra season is coming next. She said library. So Libra is actually short for library, right? It's short for library. So when I heard this story, I'm like, you know what? What makes people on Earth not look at the library as the same library, or Akashic Records for some, right? The same library that Dolores was just talking about. I'm going to hold that thought. I'm going to be right back to that. Shaylee says, I died when I was 19, was in a coma on a ventilator for 3 days, and I fully crossed over and remember every second of it. And I believe you. I believe you. And that shit is deep. It's wild. It's wild as fuck. Happy Sky says, teach me how to astral project. I want to tonight. You want to do it tonight? Okay. I'll leave the video. Hold that thought. I'll leave the video by teaching you how to astral project. You gotta have it too. What's in your 12th? You got anything in your 12th house, Happy Sky? Just checking before I even, you know what I mean? Because it is for the dreamers too. Like if you don't normally dream, it's gonna be challenging as fuck for you to do this. But I will give you some pointers and some tips on how to astral project. So when she mentioned library, right, I'm like, yo, hold on. If you can do that once you cross over, right? Once you pass away, right? This is fun though, Nana, right? It does sound fun. If you can go to that library when you cross over, and you can learn all of everything that there is to know about everything. So back to what Licious Booty said, right? Licious Booty. Remember last time we was talking about what was we talking about? Library of Alexandria that got burned down, right? They burned down all of the knowledge, took it away from us during the Piscean age. Rome did that, right? So to my understanding, when I do research on that story, the Library of Alexandria had everything in it. That's what's in the Vatican right now. So I've heard, allegedly, right? Library of Alexandria had every fucking thing known to mankind, at least at that time, in it. And all of the scholars, all of the philosophers, and even regular town people used to travel from place to place and everything to go to that library to learn all of those things, right? So my question then becomes, what makes us so sure, us humans, what makes us so sure that we can't not only be privy to all of the knowledge, especially during the Aquarius age now, because that's going to come up next, pause, but also practice or learn everything that we need to learn instead of taking action on it, right? Because her thing was this, yo, we study that shit in the afterlife so that we can know everything, so we can be better prepared to come back. But my thing is, why the fuck come back? Now, according to her, and it makes sense though, right? Partially. According to her, we come back to clear our karma, and it's not the same as doing. You can learn until you're blue in the face, but like she said, she'd get bored just by reading and learning. She'd rather do. I don't know about y'all, but make some noise if life has kicked your ass a time or three. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not for nothing, I guess the question for that, the question after that is, knowing what you know now, would you go and repeat the process of learning something that you already know now that kicked your ass? I'm curious to know. I'm also curious to know how many times you have studied things from your own abode or from your own library, your own, you know what I'm saying? Peace of mind, quality time. You studied some shit. You've read some books, maybe, even if they were novels that were, what is that, fiction. And you was like, yo, you know what? Or you got a couple of family members that been through some shit, and you was like, you know what? I don't even gotta touch that. That's a stove that I'm not gonna touch to find out if that shit is hot, B. I'm not doing that. Like, how many times have you come across some shit like that, y'all? So he was like, nah, I don't need to know for myself. I don't need to know for myself. Chaley says, no, first of all, Happy Sky says, do you believe in past lives? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've actually astral projected into past lives before. That's what made me a believer. I used to be like on the fence about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not totally ignorant to it because I know my spiritual gifts. But once I started projecting there and I seen some shit from my past, I was like, oh shit. This shit is real. I think you just have to develop. I think for some people, God only shows you what you're capable of handling at the time that you mature or grow and step into it. And I think that's what it was with me. I was allowed to see that probably the first time in my late 20s. Exactly. I was given a choice to come back and I said no at first. I've seen the light. Okay, let's talk about that, Shaylee. I've seen the light. So if you haven't heard, maybe you have heard that there's this light at the end of the tunnel. There really is a light, y'all. There's a fucking light. And people don't automatically go to that light soon as they pass away. Like, some people are wanderers. Some spirits are wandering. Some of them don't know. She went on to say this too. Some of them don't know they're dead. Those are more of the lower realm beings who are more into the tangible and just don't want to cope with the reality of that they've left this plane. So they're dwellers. I've dealt with these spirits on numerous occasions while astral projecting, and I've seen someone cross over to the light. I've seen two people, but I've seen one actually do the cross, and they didn't cross until they met someone who I believe they knew in this lifetime. And it wasn't the person that I'd expect them to go crossover with, but it was I was like, oh, okay, do your motherfucking thing then. You know what I'm saying? Put it that way. I don't, let's just say it looked like spiritual infidelity is what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, you found your little boo thing, all right. And then they went over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting them to be back here in some time. So I'm going to be looking at their lineage, like their bloodline, to see who's who looks more like them, who mannerisms are like them. They might even be here already. That's probably maybe a topic for another time. They might even be here already and was here before that spirit actually left the physical realm. Pierre says, I'm not coming back here. I understand where you're coming from, and this is why I'm being inquisitive about this shit. Like, why do people come back? Why would you want to come back? You want to clear your karma? What happens if you don't? Because according to her, and I kind of feel her when she was like, yo, there's no God waiting up there to punish you or praise you. This shit is all on you. This shit is all on us. There's no hell. Heaven is the head. Heea. Heaven is the head. Hell is the heel. Hee. Hell is the heel. That's merely what it is. You know, people try to put that darkness in, they perverted it, put it into the books, make it impressive for slavery. That's what happened. That's what really happened. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, Why the fuck would you come back? Even if it's the clear karmic debt, look, the shit didn't work out between us, you know? But if I'm not coming back, what the fuck I got to worry? Why the fuck I gotta worry about karma if I'm not coming back? Right or wrong? Let's make it make sense. That's why we here, though. That's why we here. We gonna make this shit make sense. Shaylee says, I was told, Shaylee, you make your own choices. I cannot make your choices for you, but please reconsider. You have people that love you, you have people that need you, and you have a purpose. Yeah, I see. That's a great reason to come back, though. Purpose, your soul. Purpose is your soul, and your north node is your destiny. So it's like, if you're not finished doing your north node, and you got a purpose, and like everybody got a purpose. Everyone who has a soul has a purpose. So go back and thug that shit out. Go back and finish that shit out. You know what I mean? I prefer to keep coming back. Licious booty, do you? Why though? You want the action, right? I guess you would be bored too. So let's say our spirit just hangs out in the outer realms, in the other world afterwards. You think it's just that boring in the other world? I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna hold you, yo. These past few days, like a few days ago, I woke up like I've never woken up before. Like when my eyes opened, I felt like a true avatar. I was like, oh shit, I just really came back from the other world. And now I'm living in this avatar body. And like I blinked and I was like, you know how the robots blink when they first get life in those movies and shit like that? I felt like one of those, but more human and like an avatar in the flesh, you know what I mean? So that just had me thinking on a real deeper level, like, this shit ain't as real as we make it to be. What's really real is the spirit and the mind. You understand what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, again, I don't be saying that for people to go jump off a building like, yeah, you can fly. I'm not saying you can fly. You astral project, you can fly. But you prefer coming back, huh, Licious Booty? I assume that it's for those purposes. Like this has got to be fun, adventurous. I was talking to somebody today. Matter of fact, when I did the Taurus Tarot reading, I was like explaining how, we're bad people, or we don't frame ourselves to be bad, but we're bad in somebody's story, and we don't be owning up to that shit most times. You know what I'm saying? But it's the action that we take, even the bullshit that we've been through, even the drama, the trauma, all of that. It is something exciting about that shit. So I can't hold you. You make a point there. Shaylee says, you thought about it for a minute and looked up and said, okay, then was tapped on the shoulder and woke up from my coma. That's dope. That's deep too. I'm glad you're back. Because shit, you're here with me now. I could use the assistance. You know what I'm saying? And not for nothing, I woke someone up from a coma before, so I know this shit is real. I know the shit you're talking about is real. This person was hooked up to tubes for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Out of it. Body damn near exploded and everything. You know what I mean? And I woke them up from a coma, so I know how real that shit is. There have been a few times that I'm being told information I literally can't and don't want to process it. It feels like my brain is breaking, so I remove myself. Right. We could get information overload, especially in the Aquarius age. So this is what I also wanted to state, right? Being that we're in Aquarius age and we have the internet now, like all of the information, all of the knowledge is at our fingertips. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do with that? Notice though how a lot more people are isolating a lot more. A lot more people are refraining from doing all of the activities that we normally would do without the internet, right? So I know when we was coming up, my generation, we was forced outside. What you doing in the house? Somebody chasing you? Get your ass outside. Get the fuck outside. You know what I'm saying? Like we couldn't be in a house coming up. You know what I'm saying? Now I think the parents are starting to understand, like, yo, it's fucking dangerous outside. Do you know what you did to us? Like, it's fucking dangerous out there, B. We all winging it, moving on a whim, trying to get along with each other in that Libra playing field, right? That public at large. When we don't know each other, we don't fucking like each other. We're kind of like low-key forcing ourselves to a lot of the times. That's where the groups and the gangs come into play. We got to walk each other home from school now. We don't even really know why the fuck we beefing like that. It's just a bunch of attitudes and egos clashing because we all crammed up in one room for 8 hours a day, you gotta expect some bullshit is gonna happen. But now some parents are choosing to homeschool. Like, nah, I don't want my kids around them fucking badass kids. Then they bring that shit home to me. Nah, my kid gonna learn what the fuck I teach them. Which I think is fucking dope. You know, I'd have loved to stay home with my parents 24/7. I don't give a fuck what they was into. Teach me all of that shit. Ended up learning any fucking way. You know? Send me to that fucking institution over there. Because once I get to showing my ass, they're going to see how artistic I am. I just want to do art class. Give me art, music, a little bit of gym. You know what I'm saying? And let me get the fuck out of here. Some science. Y'all ain't teaching astrology? Fuck this shit. It's boring. The fuck is my... Someone told me I won't be reincarnating this time. I do love my sleepy time. Eternal slumber sounds so cozy. You know... Sleep is just a wonder, like y'all know I marvel in sleep. I do. And I'm so in tune, I'm so in touch with it that when I'm come back here, it makes it more simpler for me to ask these questions of why do we come back? Why are we coming back? And now the more that I sleep, dream, and come back, the more I realize it's actually to play the game. So when I be talking about hologram and this is a game of life, and we should be perceiving it as so, like I really be meaning that shit, and a lot of it is chalked up to my astral projections. I should also mention that I had taken my own life, so that is probably significant. Well, yeah, and now I'm sympathetic, you know what I'm saying? But I commend you. It's huge for you to even bring that to the forefront, to even speak about that. You know what I mean? So again, you know what I mean? I'm glad you're here, yo. I'm glad it didn't go that way. You know what I mean? Because there's stuff here to do. We got shit to do, y'all. We got shit to do. Yo, that Taurus reading that I did today really opened up my eyes to some shit, because it's like, yo, if you frame your mind to believe that you're the bad guy, that you're a bad person, then it just seems like so much more is achievable. Because somebody's going to see you that way anyway. When you believe that you're good, you're doing all of these good things. So I'm trying to like empathize with you as much as I possibly can, Shaylee. Like, if I'm that bad of a person, then I don't got to try to be good. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to do all of this, because we're raised to be good based upon what someone told us good was. And a lot of the times they left out the part when they didn't question what was bad, or how did they determine who or what was bad. You know, a lot of us didn't have those conversations with our parents. Only, do as I say, not as I do type shit. It's like, what? The fuck is you talking about? How you gonna tell somebody some shit like that? You know what I mean? And the veil blocks past knowing. I think we feed archons here. Yikes. I know heaven is real and God. My brother shows up whenever really big stuff is going down and has given me a heads up. I feel you. And I've gotten those same types of interactions with loved ones who have passed over, relatives who have passed over, friends who have passed over, the whole shebang. I've had talks with celebrities who've passed over, all types of shit. But I'm thinking we're calling it heaven, because I think we're trying to give ourselves solace. I think anyway that the religious leaders are giving ourselves solace. I think what I'm seeing though is the other world, or the outer realm, or where there's, if you're a coder, it's like the blank sheet that you're looking at before you start coding code, if that makes sense. It's like the ether, it's the dark matter. I think that's where everything else is existing outside of this time box that Saturn rules over, Satan. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my better understanding of it. Because I think they also want to play ball too. Like, I've encountered plenty of spirits in the dream state that they want to come back. Like, they are actually trying to come back by way of DNA, because in order to become a soul, you got to come through a human vessel, right? So I know some spirits right now that are like trying to convince me persuade me, manipulate me, and all that. They still my family members and all that. Like, yo, they still are who they are, you know. So if you have fights with your brother, you fuck around and have a fight with your brother in the other realm, in the other world too. You know what I mean? They don't. That's my experiences anyway. But yeah, like they don't always come as this angelic, peaceful individual. Like my people still be coming to me as they are, and I'm like, come on, knock it off now, knock it off. Does heaven have food and sex? Great question, right? Because if it ain't material, from my understanding of it anyway, is that it's not material. But who's to say? Because I done grab things and touch things. I done had sex in the outer realm, in the other world, in dreams. So if I'm talking to people who have passed on in that same vicinity, who's to say they not fucking? The spirits might be fucking, y'all. I ain't never. Let me bring that back. I might have. I have to think about that one. I like the thought of keep evolving. Licious booty. I like that concept. Let's piggyback on that. So, is that what we're doing on Earth? Is that what we're doing on Earth? Or are we evolving every time we come back to Earth? Because they say, well, the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Well, or, you know what? Now that you said that, I think maybe we want to come back in different times to experience like different time periods, different eras. It might just be coming back for fun. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, right? If you go from the Piscean age to the Aquarius age, you are just leaving some of the most grungy, grittiest, primitive, just downright brutal types of times. And then you're just coming into the age of knowledge, the age of enlightenment. There's all of this magical shit. So it's just, the shift is so strong. You would want to, if you was, you know what I mean? If you passed over, you would want to come back. Like, hold on, I can't miss all of this robot pussy. Like, y'all, come on, knock it off. Like, all of this shit is about to happen. The Jets and shit about to come into the fold. Like, nah, I got to be there for that shit too. I'm coming back. So I get it from that point of view, from that perspective. But this is booty. What if we've been here? What if you've been here? Let's say you've been here, because you know it's 12 zodiac signs, right? Let's say you've been here each time a zodiac sign has entered their age. Would you say that's a total completion of evolving? Would you say you've done it all then? You've seen it all? Or would you still come back when the Aries age came back around, like, oh, I'm going again, fuck that. You know what I mean? That Taurus reading was crazy resonant. Oh, you seen it, Nana? That shit was hard body, right? I was impressed myself. Like, yo, this shit is awkward, but I'm loving it. That shit was deep. Yup, everyone will be at some point in their lives. Thank you. No problem. Of course. Public spaces for youth are dwindling. They are. And you know what? Not for nothing. I empathize with the youth to the degree where it's like, yo, shorty, stay in the house. Fuck that. Stay home. And I'm a lot of the times we compare generations. The real huge difference between our generations is, yo, we ain't have all this technology, B. And the technology's presented a whole lot of opportunities. Some of them shorties are still so wild that they actually committing crimes, and that's when they turn on their phone to like record that shit. That's out there. You know what I'm saying? I only hope that they can get it together and develop their minds so they can realize how out to snacks that is. Like, that to me signals someone who doesn't want to be here. That's the people who inquire, like, why am I even here? Why'd y'all bring me here? Those are the type of kids that ask their parents, why am I here again? Like, why did y'all bring me here? Like, because, like, to me, it's just like somebody who's fighting to get out. Why are you giving these people keys to put you under the jail? And not for nothing, to get the people who don't like you, to get you out of here even quicker. Oh, yo, I'm over here. Come see me. Nah, buddy. That shit wild as fuck to me, you know? But on the contrary, I'm telling shorties, yo, stay home. You got an internet connection, you got a laptop, you got a desktop, you got a phone, get a motherfucking tripod. That shit costs like $20 now, 15 on Amazon somewhere. Get your ass a setup. Start talking to us. We'll listen. Somebody gonna listen to your ass. Start a channel. Start a business. Stay your ass home, kid. Cause motherfuckers, them kids is in the streets. They don't got shit to do. They don't got nothing to do but steal cars with USB ports and go do the most wildest shit that they can think of. I'd be happy never leaving the house. Yo, now that I have the opportunity to not leave the house, I myself become addicted to that shit. As a child, I was just running the streets so fucking much, yo. To where when I developed into a mature adult, I'm like, oh, this walking around butt ass naked, going in my refrigerator anytime I want to make what the fuck I feel like eating. Not you gonna eat what I cook, boy. None of that shit is happening no more. Like, nigga, this shit is popping. And I could talk to who I want to. They could talk to me through the screen. Yeah, it ain't the same, but, you know, keep your distance anyway. I don't know you like that yet. You know what I'm saying? Send me a picture or something. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? Like, take our time now. Relationships are going slower and shit. I could fuck with that. Lord knows I done got into trouble, a whole lot of trouble with the relationships and all that shit too. So this is my point. Do we gotta rush this whole tangible part of the experience? Or are when we are doing that, are we setting ourselves up to go back to the other world quicker than we should, prematurely, right? Why can't we just act it out here? Why do we have to stay here? Why can't we just go to heaven? It sucks here. Well, Happy Sky, I think it all depends. I think it depends on mindset. I think it depends on how the individual shapes and frames their subconscious mind. Because think about it, Sky, look, if you got all of the knowledge in the world at your fingertips, how can't you make a heaven for yourself on earth? Think about that shit. What and who is stopping you now? That's a better question. What and who is stopping you now from making heaven on earth, Happy Sky? And what does heaven look like to you? Like Dolores said, she would be bored if they was just playing harps around her. You know what I'm saying? You can't suck no titties. Like, it's just wild, boring. Like, what the fuck? You know? So maybe heaven looks different to you than it does to me and to the next person and Licious Booty, etc., etc. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, what is your heaven? Heaven is the head. If you break it down to heaven is merely the head, what you think of, what your mental health is, and what you perceive, what you see every day in your life, that's heaven. And what's hell is what you walk through, right? So if you got to make an appointment that you don't want to go to, that might feel like hell. So then it's like you got to go up in your mind in heaven and be like, well, I don't want to make that appointment no more. You go in the next day, you say, who's coming with me? I'm fucking out of here. It's my last day at the work. Fuck your 2-week notice. I'm out of here. That might be heaven for you. Yeah, you're going to have some shit to work out after that, but it still might be heaven for you, is my point. Thank you. I mentioned it because of the fact that I was given a choice to come back or not. I think we die when we are meant to. That's deep. Maybe. Like, I heard a story or a concept that there's like different exit slots and we'll know them when they occur. Sometimes we get premonitions about them and shit like that. And in that moment, we can decide if we're going to exit out, if we're going to like exit stage or not. And then we don't. What do y'all ever heard that before? I've studied alchemy for 15 years and reading, and I've done on information I could never make up that was real astounding to me. We receive information, Uranus, and it's wild. Uranus is doing Uranus at this time right now. It's interesting that you bring Uranus up. Uranus is a very interesting energy. It's underrated in the universe, if you ask me. It's not mentioned a lot, and I think it's because people don't understand it. I think it's just that weird, wild, and crazy. But I understand exactly what the fuck you're talking about. When you get downloads, like those lightning quick flashes, those epiphanies, because it's different. The difference between the third eye chakra and Neptune and Uranus and the crown chakra is that Neptune in the third eye chakra gives you more of the feels, the premonitions, the psychic energy that you don't have to necessarily see it. But Uranus is like Something pops up in your phone, a message from so-and-so at the same time that that's happening. So it's all of this, what do they call that? Not coincidence, but it correlates. There's a word that I'm looking for. It's just not coming to mind right now. But that's that Uranus energy will let you know that you're in alignment. You're on the path. And you're being sent messages. It's like in those alien movies when they see. It's wild. It's wild and it's crazy. And it's almost like a radio that tunes in just to you. You understand what I'm saying? And whoever else is involved in the conversation. So it's like a conversation that evolved from a Gemini level to a Libra level to now to an Aquarius level. It gets wild. Or get assaulted by them. Get assaulted by who? Or what happened? How we get there? How we get there, Nana? I personally don't think that dreams are what people make of them. I think it's another dimension or something that we are in. Yeah, I think it's like the timeout place. I think the other world is a place that's a timeout place. The same way that people who are passed on, I think they're on timeout. I think they're on timeout and they're waiting to regenerate and recycle. It's just our body hasn't conked out like theirs has. But we're still able to visit back and forth and see them and all that. And I'm not going for that, oh, that's the devil playing tricks on you. Those are not your real ancestors and shit like that. I know my peoples when I see them. They ain't gonna. Now, I've seen motherfuckers change faces in dreams. I've seen that. But you gotta understand, we talking about fifth dimension shit. It gets created as we go along. You're gonna see the most weirdest and wildest shit. Things that you can't fathom on this 3D plane because this plane doesn't have that frequency. The other world, the outer realm, the 12th house, the subconscious mind. So it's a frequency that's out of this world, literally. So dreams make me feel jacked into another dimension and waking up is unhooking again. Right. Very Matrix. Very Matrix. I was throwing myself out of my crib before I could even walk. Like, why in the hell am I here again? Right. Some of, when this is what I'm saying, like, the more that we become aware of this, because look, right, there's a downsize of population going on now, right, y'all? So we got that to consider. Because that means that people are not coming back at the rate that they were coming back or at the rate we were coming back. Because we had this acceleration of, populating the earth because a workforce was needed, People even made breeding farms to make sure that happened. But now with the technology and the advancements and life is getting longer, is expected to be, you're expected to live longer. Now people are like, oh, hold on, wait a minute now. This shit's starting to get sweet. I don't think I want 15 kids anymore, type shit. And then the next thing you know, fewer and fewer and fewer of us are coming back here. So it's like people are figuring it out right now in real time, regardless. Because what about the unaware, the unknowing, who didn't know, wasn't consciously bringing us here, should I say? You know what I'm saying? Maybe a drunk night at the beach, backseat of the car type shit. No offense. You know what I'm saying? I was a quickie. I was told I was a quickie. But it is what it is. I ain't hating. Licious Booty says, I can't imagine life with not at least having the options of experiencing a twin flame, soulmate, friendship, motherhood, fatherhood, etc. So it's like your soul vies for that, you think? That's why you always come back for family life, for family ties and lovers, and you like a one big romance novel, huh? Perception and gratitude are the most important things in my opinion, and love. Absolutely. Uranus is currently directly on top of my damn Chiron. Synchronicity. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Synchronicity. Yup. When things get synchronized, it's freaky, baby. That's how you know you on to something. All of the sci-fi movies you've watched to that point was for a fucking reason. It was worth it. Or when one time a guy kept blocking me to read him, and then a flash flew of lines of a song came in and I spoke it and his armor crumbled. Oh yeah, that's deep. Did that happen in a dream for you? That's some deep shit. That's some superpower shit. You know what I'm saying? I had dreams that came true, like psychic stuff. Me too, happy. Me too. I'm here till I'm freaking 92. You feel me? For sure, for sure. All right, so let's look at some more content.
Logically, women are very complex. So, can you just talk about the totality of that? I mean,
in the Tao practice, women are yin, which means water, and water comes in many forms. It can be mist, it can be rain, it can be snow, it can be ice, and fire is fire. There's flames, and that's pretty much fire, and that's the yang energy. So, speaking of water, yin essence, the female genitals, when aroused, becomes very wet, and there's all kinds of waters, and they're all seen as sacred and like elixirs. So mostly what happens when women don't experience this is sexual activity tends to be not enough time is given to a woman to really honor her body and take time to really activate her and be with her. And so a lot of times, I think intercourse is now about between 2 to 10 minutes maximum in length.
2 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, still as an average.
And that hardly gets a woman started, right?
No,
I mean,
especially if there was no foreplay or anything like that.
In addition to proper foreplay and energetic arousal, are ancient tools to help increase sensual desire and function, such as the jade egg, which goes back at least 5,000 years in China to the time of the Yellow Emperor, whose empress and royal concubines used jade egg practices for youth, erotic prowess, and feminine vitality.
These are the jade eggs, okay.
Yeah.
And what is this for?
So the jade egg is part of the jade goddess practice and also the Tao practice. And there's multiple levels of why we would use one. On a pure physical level, pelvic muscular health is enhanced using the jade eggs because you're constantly working out.
So you put this inside you?
Inside the vagina.
And then what would you do with it?
You practice sucking it in first, getting the muscles to learn to do that. And then you move it up and down. You can learn to flip it around.
In your vagina?
Yeah.
You can do all that?
Yes.
It's incredible.
And you learn to squeeze above and below and the egg itself. In very advanced practices, you lift weights with it.
You lift weights.
So you attach a weight at the bottom.
At the end, hanging outside the body.
Yeah.
And then you just pull it up and pull it down.
Yeah.
Wow. And then...
So that's the physical side of it. Then there's the emotional part of it where the reflexology of the vagina affects the whole body.
You mean there's points on the vagina?
Yeah, within the vagina.
That connect to the whole body.
That's correct.
And I'm sure on the penis as well.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So with the egg, then you'd stimulate certain points in the vagina that would also have a reflex in the body.
Exactly.
Oh, very.
So you work directly with the organs, and the Taoists believe that our emotions originate from our organs.
Right.
So that's how we do emotional healing work, utilizing the power of our sexual energy.
But also the jade egg is the penis is then able to have all the thrills of a jade egg practitioner, right?
Yes.
I mean, you'd be able to do
on a physical level, a woman's better able to pleasure her partner and pleasure herself.
Right.
Because the more she can have dexterity and suppleness and strength in her vagina, the more she can experience greater pleasure for herself and her partner.
And so then what do you recommend for men to kind of, as a parallel to that?
Parallel exercise.
Sort of, I guess, contracting the perineum and lifting weights.
There's a whole other male practice that comes with the training.
In solo energy cultivation, as well as with a partner, Kegel exercises become essential. Kegels involve tightening and then releasing the muscles in your pelvic floor to strengthen them. There are 3 different muscles that are worked on separately. The first is the one used to stop the flow of urine. Of course, you do not exercise this while you are peeing. The next is the perineum. You can look that up if you don't know what that is. And finally, the rectum. Each serves a different purpose in generating and or withholding vital energy in, but it's not in the scope of this presentation to go into it in further detail.
Now, look, I know we shifted gears a little bit, but let's keep it a beam. Venus rules over Libra, right? So we're gonna get here inevitably. You know what I mean? I ain't get deep, but I can. That video got some shit on it too, and I'm probably gonna reference it, especially when it comes to Scorpio season. You know what I mean? But Shorty was putting in that work. You heard all of the shit she was saying, right? Dude was like, in your vagina. Oh my God, you can do all of that? Like, yeah, nigga, she could do all of that with her vagina. So I bring this to the forefront, right? Because it's like, yo, I'm an advocate of not ignoring the lower rung of our bodies, and it has something to do with what we was talking about already. Like, why we come here, we come back sort of like what Licious Booty said, to experience the family, the lovers, the whole shebang. Like, you want the whole fucking experience, right? So it's like, how do we ignore hell or the heel because of some type of religious framework that has been indoctrinated to us that tells us to ignore that part? Like, for why? Like, why would you do that to us? Why would you? And then you bring us here. First, y'all bring us here by getting freaky. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are fucking, man. And that's how we get here. And then y'all go and tell niggas like, whoa, no, wait now. Y'all can't do that. Y'all not supposed to do that. Come on, make it fucking make sense, B. You know? The elders, the parents, they could be like the first terrorists that you ever encounter. But this is my point. How you see what Shorty said, the stimuli down there activates all types of neurons and all types of other shit going on in the entire body. And the more that she's in tune with herself, the more that she's able to please her partner. And I've mentioned in my chakra videos, the root chakra video, the sacral chakra video, that, oh, matter of fact, in my Venus video, let me teach you how to love video, I say, yo, look, a lot of chicks is out there, y'all fucking them, y'all thinking y'all blew their back out and everything. Like, yeah, the broad might be sore for a couple of days and all that, maybe a couple of weeks even. But when you left, she finished herself off. And you may not be able to comprehend that. That's some deep shit. Because you think you did work, but she had to finish herself off because there's no foreplay involved. When you, look, guys, if you're listening, if there's any guys watching this, or when you guys do watch this on the replay, when you're utilizing Venus, you're going to soften for the other counterpart, for the woman. All right? Fuck all the macho shit. You already a man. She's gonna feel the masculinity all around you and in you, B. You have a shaft, for God's sake. Like, you're a man, all right? You don't gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, soften up for last a while. Shorty said from between 2 and 10 minutes is the average act of intercourse. That's wow. Get some toys. Exactly. Look, I even get the toys because I understand this shit fully, B. Like, I get the toys for when I want a water break or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to take a break just to keep the foreplay up, just to keep the woman stimulated, because women are just different, B. The biology, I said that right? Yeah, the biology of women is just different, B. So you got to be prepared. It's like, man, listen, I could teach a class. I probably should just teach a class. But I definitely had to put that video in there because I wanted to stress that, like, yo, get prepared when y'all about to do these things with these people, man. Guys, take your time with these chicks. It's going to be tougher on you, and I think that's what guys are afraid of, that they actually have to lay there and feel all of the sensations and all that too, and do it 2 to 3 times for themselves. But once you got a woman that's into it, man, listen, I don't want to drag that too much, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? You understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Energy is the eternal love that flows in everything. According to the mystery school teachings, the pyramids of Egypt were never without a woman, since she was the vestal that initiated the great masters. In ancient Greece, the Temple of Delphi was never without a woman, as the high priestess of the Temple of Apollo served as the oracle. The eternal feminine was worshipped as Isis by the pharaohs, Astarte by the Phoenicians, Sibyl on the island of Crete, and as a goddess by many other names. According to Kabbalists, the Hebrew word for God in the Bible, Elohim, is plural and means goddesses and gods. In this context, any Abrahamic religious interpretation that omits the goddess is half atheist, ignoring the original esoteric meaning. When we see an image of God depicted as a male or father in the sky, traditionally associated with thunder or rain, we must remember that the rain inseminates the Mother Earth, called Gaia in Greek mythology, facilitating new growth, flowers, and fruits. So both male and female aspects are present in nature. And in Taoism, the tiger is associated with the Mother Earth and therefore yin energy. So it's absurd to suppose that only the male can reach the intimate state of self-realization. And it's a misconception in certain esoteric or alchemical sects that women only serve as vehicles for men who want to become illuminated. That said, I was asked by one of my Patreon subscribers if I could elaborate on the female aspects of energy cultivation. If the woman is the vehicle for the man, through which he can awaken his energetic centers, then it's only logical that the man is the instrument, the mediating vehicle, through which the woman can also facilitate a spiritual awakening. Which brings us to the subject of White Tigress Tantra, or the alchemy of yin, or water. The vast majority of Taoist texts on alchemy, meditation, and sexuality are directed at male practitioners, but there also exists an ancient, veiled, esoteric tradition for female practitioners who focus on absorbing the dragon's breath, or fire, the male sexual energy. In the context of Taoist sexual and spiritual practices, water often symbolizes the flow of qi, a term that literally translates to air, water, vapor, or breath, but implies the refined and rhythmic life force energy that permeates everything. In Taoism, energy and matter are one and the same. That said, the practice of internal alchemy teaches one to harness, amplify, and transmute qi into shen, which is spiritual energy. In the philosophy of internal alchemy, everything contained could be seen as embodying the essence of fertility, growth, intuition, and the yin aspect. It is regarded as both cold and wet. In contrast, its male counterpart is fire, considered dry and hot, and associated with the yang energy. The male essence is represented as an upward-facing triangle, symbolic of fire, while the female essence is depicted as a downward-facing triangle, symbolic of water. When combined, they make a six-pointed star, also known as the hexagram, which when overlapping has 7 internal compartments, as 7 is a sacred number in geometry associated with creation, union, and divine perfection. The Pythagoreans, for example, believed that the number 7 was a union of the physical and the spiritual.
Yo, y'all funny as hell. Y'all are wild as shit. But it's real talk. So like Happy said, water would put out fire. You are onto something. That's how it is. The phallus, right? The male phallus, hot and dry. That vagina, cold and wet. You know what I'm saying? Well, warm and wet. But in contrast to a phallus, I would say cold and wet, because our shit is more channeled and streamlined, and it's all right there. You know what I mean? So knowing this, right? And I've said this in my chakra video. I've said this in a few videos. Sometimes you gotta be hands off, B. Like, listen, I understand exactly what you're saying. Sometimes sometimes you can't grip them cheeks. Sometimes you can't grab onto them thighs. Sometimes it's better to just look up at the sky, not look at the flesh, B, because you gotta maintain, B. That water gonna douse your shit. That water gonna put your fire out, B. You gotta be strong, brother. You got to be strong out this bitch, yo. Real talk. But I bring this to the forefront as well because it's like, yo, in the very beginning they was talking about how, you know, these new books, and this is going to be setting up for the King James talks when Sagittarius season comes in, believe me. But it's like, yo, how you exclude the woman from the whole Trinity thing? Like, come on, B. And I tell you, this is why. From my logic, it's because that booty meat be making motherfuckers weak, and they just can't handle it, and then they get mad. They get mad at the power of a woman, B. And I know it's more than that, you know what I'm saying? But we can at least start there. Like, if you're not physically, because remember, this is an experience. We're spiritual entities using our minds to manifest this physical plane, which is only a slither of the whole entire picture. So if we're not matching up in the physical, men have stronger, I would say, maybe stronger egos than women, according to the principles that I've learned in astrology. So it's like when that ego gets bruised in that type of way, it's like, oh, well, let's make a book that just excludes this broad altogether. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Like, nigga, what? Do you know we can see you? What you mean? We get here by fucking, bro. Like, what is this whole Father, Son, Holy Ghost shit? And I ain't trying to shit on the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit. No, not at all. But how, come on. But see, motherfuckers ain't stupid, B. You ain't just gonna tell me ain't no woman involved in all of this shit. Ain't no fucking way. I love women too much to even go for that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? A motherfucker is smart enough to read in between the lines and see what's going on there. You don't remove her from the fucking Trinity when she got all of this fucking power. The fuck is wrong with you? Some people are sick out there, man. We're gonna get you some help though. You're gonna learn today. Let's go. So now we're gonna switch gears a little bit, right? And we're gonna go, yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and no woman. How that even add up? Make it make sense. That don't add up, bro. That's not math. The math is not mathing. No, you're gonna bring some titties and ass in here immediately, or we're not doing this shit no more. How else we gonna do this shit? The fuck out of here. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna get into the I'm gonna just let it speak for itself. Put it that way. I'm gonna just let it speak for itself.
Else, friends, family, work, but deprioritizing you, and you were like the bottom of the list, but they were always busy off doing something else with somebody else, watch this video. Hey, I'm Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And for 5 years, I was a dating coach before I did this. And I had to pay a lot of attention to how to create attraction in other people. And that knowledge of attraction I use to help you get your ex back. So there's a certain archetype of person, usually that's been emotionally neglected in childhood, but this type of person has communication problems. Okay, they never grew up explaining themselves to their parents and having an open dialogue and all this kind of thing. So they have trouble saying no to other people, and so they'll spread themselves really thin between work, family, school, etc. And they're really more of like the people pleaser type. And a lot of times you can see them be the hero of the family. They raise themselves, maybe they help raise the siblings, and it's this type of person. Now, typically speaking, this type of person lives in an unsustainable way. This is not like a happy, thriving lifestyle. This is a coping lifestyle because there's a reason they can't say no. It's because their communication skills aren't developed. And the reason why their communication skills aren't developed is because they were neglected in childhood. And so what tends to happen is that a lot of problems are going to mount up in your relationship that don't get resolved because they never bring it up to you. Okay. And you're not a mind reader, so you don't know. Okay. And then between that and whatever other stress that's going on in their life and the way that they've spread themselves really thin across all their obligations or their relationships. So eventually they have this kind of like shitty watershed moment where it's like, they just feel like they have to cut off their relationships and just sort of self-isolate or start drinking or kind of go into this like depressive episode to try to regain bandwidth. And during this time, they're having really big doubts about themselves. Now, usually leading up to one of these depressive episodes will be them deprioritizing you. They're going to essentially do everything for everybody else, but they won't do it for you. On some level, because you're in the boat with them, right? So they don't have to kind of give you, the customer, facing treatment the same way that, you know, they would with friends and family. But a lot of times they don't even realize that they're doing this until you kind of speak up. And if you do it in a way where you're just like hanging on by a thread the whole time, and then finally your frustrations come out, it's like, hey, why do you do everything for everybody else and nothing for me? You're actually triggering them in their core wound, which is feeling broken. That's what happens from neglect in childhood. And then they freak out about how they're not good enough, and it leads ultimately to a breakup because in their minds they're doing the best they can. Again, this is coping behavior. So the archetype of person that we're talking about here in this video is the dismissive avoidant attachment style. A lot of times people can get surprised with breakups by these individuals because they're not speaking up for what their concerns are, and then they will break up with you out of the blue because they didn't communicate ahead of time. Now, if this has happened to you, you can definitely get them back. You can definitely work on the relationship together and get them communicating the right way. And if you want my help re-attracting them into the relationship, click into my profile, click this link, set up a call with me, and there's a...
So yeah, I threw some trauma into the mix just to stir the pot, you know what I'm saying? So we can get a glimpse at what goes on in relationships, because the relationship platform, if you will, especially in social media, is just like going through the roof right now. It's getting a lot of attention. There's a lot of discussions. There's gurus, relationship coaches, all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? And Nana says he's reading me to the fifth, but I'm aware of this pattern and are timely working on laying it to rest. Gotta respect myself against the predators. And I understand that too, because I was gonna ask y'all, have y'all ever experienced that? Or y'all the people that are actually those people, those archetypes that he's explaining? This is what I find interesting about researching this topic in general, because a lot of this should be truthful. You know what I'm saying? At least you're taking accountability. A woman that takes accountability it's a rare find out here these days. So, you know what I mean? You gotta give a round of applause for that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But you know, even myself, I've been in situations like that before, to where, you know, I'm the kind of dude to where if I intuitively sense that you're going through something or you have other things to take care of, I'll be considerate of those things. At the same time, should you give me the impression that we're something, and I'm not saying to the fullest, right? Even if we're just friends, I'm going to start expecting some type of rhythm from you. That's just how I am. And if I'm not getting that, eventually I'm going to mention that shit. That's just how I am. Like, I can't go quiet for too long because my Venus is in Aries. So if I got love for you, I'm going to say something. At the same time, I do have that detachment type of thing going on when I'm not that involved with someone at the same time. So this is along the lines of ghosting, right or wrong, y'all. Nana said something that's real important too. She said, gotta protect myself against the predators. I feel you, and I'm a man. I understand exactly where you came from with that, because it's like, yo, I'm also trying to figure the other individual out. Like, you know, that question gets frowned on a lot. What are we? But that's a real ass fucking question. Because if you don't know and you feel like you're being led on, and or you're confused about something because you swore you heard something, but a couple of days later it doesn't seem like that's the truth, eventually you're going to be like, yeah, so what happened with that shit you told me about? Or what happened when you claimed so and so and so? Like, I'm that person. Eventually I'm going to bring it up. And I think in relationships we have this fear. Fear swings both ways, right? You can have the fear of being looked at like a sucker because you want to speak about it, and then shorty or your partner might be like, come on, that's corny. Like, what are you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you, insecure? Because that word can get tossed at you and that shit could hurt. What are you, insecure? Why would you ask me about that? Why would you question me about that? Of course I love you. Of course I like you. Like, haven't I told you that before? And it's just like, yeah, you might have told me that before, but I ain't speak to you in 8 days. I'm just wondering what's going on. You know what I mean? Not even a text. I understand you're busy, I understand you're working, all that, but the fuck is going on here? So even myself included, I be detached, and sometimes I'll ghost people. And I'll tell them eventually, because people have approached me too, like, yo, what's up with you? You good? And I have to explain to them, yo, I fell back a little bit because I don't know what's really happening here. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel like this shit is elevating and going to another level, but I'm not sure. And I got shit to do. And because I'm not sure is the reason why I fell back. But let's have that conversation. We can't be so fearful that we don't have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, like dude in the video said, our excuses is, you know, I'm busy working. I'm busy handling the kids. I'm busy with my family. I'm busy with my best friend, got issues. I'm busy with. So it's just like, okay, so who the fuck am I then? You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, you could be called soft. You could be called insecure. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, maybe not though. How about I'm your nigga, bitch. Fuck is you talking about? Like, how the fuck am I last? Like, what's really going on here? And like he said, people become accustomed. It's like entitlement. People becoming accustomed, like, oh, you're not going anywhere. If anybody's not going nowhere, it's you. If anybody's going to wait for me, it's you. And it's like, well, okay, well, we at least got to have a conversation. So I know that I'm not bugging. Or so you know that you're not bugging. Like, yeah, that is where we're at. But we should at least explain that so we're not confused. I have experienced avoidance, God says, but like maybe he's just not that into me. Yo, at least you laughing that shit off, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's that because look, that's where one's mind is normally going to wander to, right? Oh yeah, they fuck with me, but they don't fuck with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not entertaining enough. And then a lot of this should be internet. The internet is all over the place, right? So if you're not, just imagine what your competition is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just not entertaining enough. It's just like, yo, what I gotta do? Cosplay and shit? I gotta send you a picture in a fucking Daredevil suit, looking like Deadpool or some shit. Like, what I gotta? What you want from me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of competition out there, and you got a lot of motherfuckers flooding them inboxes, talking about this, that, and the third. You know, so it's like dating on steroids now. Like, it's just the shit wild, B. The shit wild. That's fair. I can't pursue a man, so either step up or I'm gone. I hear you. I hear you. That's what we're facing though, and a lot of men are facing that right now as well. I think it's more hazardous for men to approach women now. I don't know if y'all seen that thing that's going on where the men are not going to the brunches, the men are not going to the dating events or the dating shows or some shit, like they holding dating events or some shit like that, and the men are not showing up. And it's just like, yo, I'm not spending $600 for a bottle at a table on a Friday night in a club. For you, your friends, to impress anybody. I'm not even doing that for no niggas either. The niggas is doing that for niggas too. Like, it's fucking bugged out there. So in a lot of ways, I don't blame people. But it's Happy Sky, from a man's perspective, I think just the dangerous part about that is that we don't know where you're leading us to. And I know you could probably say the same thing about guys. You don't know where that motherfucker's leading you to either, right? But I'm just saying, like, I don't be knowing where a woman is. I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just mentally and spiritually, I know where I'm at and where I'm going. Physically, maybe not so much. You know what I mean? Because I'll be waiting for the time to come. I'll be waiting for the stars to align so everything connects. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But yeah, and everyone is polyamorous, or everyone wants to be polyamorous. A lot of people are trying to be polyamorous, and I think I think the more that people are practicing this polyamorous thing, because a lot of it, granted, is taking place through the internet, right? Like, you can't expect that your boo is 100% focused and loyal on you, bars, fucking nice, and she ain't entertaining nobody, or he ain't entertaining nobody else in them inboxes. It's like, come on, knock it off. You know, somebody else is making you smile, or, you know, whispering sweet nothings to you, and you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm after you, if I'm on you, I know other guys are on you and after you. You understand what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm not gonna get jealous though. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna improve myself, and I'm gonna cherish the time that I spend with you when I get the time to spend to you. Like most motherfuckers say, it's your turn, motherfucker. She ain't yours, it's your turn type shit. until you can at least see something deeper than that, or a bigger picture than that. You know what I'm saying? But people be having you as their jester. That too. That's another reason why busy is the latest 4-letter word. Right. A lot of motherfuckers is busy now, right? But this is what I'm saying, right? People be having you as their gesture. And that's why I don't be tripping either when I be knowing I be knowing it's competition, even though I don't view it that way. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm me. At the end of the day, fuck all this shit. I'm just gonna be me, and I'm gonna be happy in 2 seconds, just like that. Because that's how much I love me. You understand what I'm saying? But I be also knowing that the competition be gestures. They be. I don't want to just outright say people are clowns, but it's just like motherfuckers would do some clown shit just to impress the lady. You know what I'm saying? Or just to get their attention. And some women, for attention, would just laugh their ass off and kiki and entertain that shit because they want to be entertained. And more serious motherfuckers or people that are just on they shit would just be like, well, I ain't got the time to be doing all of that with you. And if that's what you want, then you can fucking have that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to say, bitch. You can have that shit, though, ma. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you into. Because I'm not jumping through some hula hoops and all types of, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing the unthinkable to get you. Fuck out of here. You know? So I think that was dope to bring up something like that. Because it's real. That shit happens. You know what I'm saying? We get to avoiding stuff in relationships out of fear. Fear what could happen, how you're perceived, how, you know, even comes from how you grew up and stuff like that. I used to have no problems pursuing men, but those dynamics ended up being unbalanced, unsatisfying, and felt catty. Interesting. Because I was with another and interested in receiving. I see what you're saying. When the reciprocity is very important in relationships. It rules over relationships. Venus, reciprocity. It takes 2 to tango. This is what I'm glad you brought that up. Primarily interested in receiving. I got it. But it's like, yeah, Libra is a scale, right? It's also like a seesaw when you look at it closer, right? So it's like, the more that you tolerate someone is busy, let's say, so to speak, right? The more you hold the weight of the relationship on your shoulders and you hold them up on a pedestal. So now the seesaw is uneven. So like you saying, Nana, you want to receive too. You want to receive too. In order to receive, they got to take some of that burden. They got to take some of that weight. They got to give back. They got to throw that ass back. Bottom fucking line. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, then you can only, you know, I might hop off the motherfucking seesaw. You might hop off your end of the seesaw. And what's going to happen when you just hop off? Like, oh, words like that? Fuck out of here, bitch. Hop off the seesaw. Shit come crashing down. Boom. Crashing down to reality, right? Oh, you thought you was fucking hot, right? Now look at you. Now fucking look at you. You got no partner. Nobody's over there on the other side. Now you got to go entertain the people that you was in. You got to go put somebody back on the other edge of the seesaw. You understand what I'm saying? And that's Libra, yo. That's Libra energy. If I'm pursuing, he's not interested. He's pursuing someone else. Is that your ideology? That sounds like that's your ideology, Happy Sky. Some men marvel in being pursued by women because it takes a lot of the bullshit out of the equation for them. But, you know, different shows for different folks. Y'all could be having that conversation to find out too. You know? Also, I don't know if I mentioned this in videos before, but I'm going to say it now. Fuck it. Libra is like a bike pedal, y'all. Right? So notice, this is what they don't tell us. This is the mysteries of astrology that be hidden in the symbology bars. Is that it's like a bike pedal. So in order to keep things going, in order to keep the motion, and in order to keep things balanced, right? Because when you ride a bike, if you don't keep pedaling, what's going to happen? You're going to topple over. You're going to have to topple over. So you're going to have to keep pushing and pedaling. And notice when you pedal, one foot is going to go all the way down and one foot is going to go all the way up. Just like the seesaw analogy that I gave. So you have to expect extremities within your relationships. That's the reality of it. And I'm going to talk more about this in Scorpio season because that's what Scorpio is about. the extremes after marriage, the extremes after you get with your partner, right? There's gonna be times when she like, yo, I'm busy. There's gonna be times when you like, yo, yeah, we good. But I was caught up doing X, Y, and Z. I'm busy. I was busy. But damn shit, it flew over my mind that I should have at least probably said something, a text or something like that. You know what I mean? So in order to keep the thing going, somebody has to say something though. Or the shit is gonna topple over and it's gonna be no more. Somebody's gotta have the heart, the courage to actually step in there and say, yo, I got a question or something. Spark the conversation, do it. Because the fear to not do it is the whole bike toppling over. That's what y'all want? Come on, fucking bike racer y'all in. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's more corny than the whole avoidant thing. If you can't, well, that is the avoidant thing. If you're gonna avoid to the point where you don't have the conversation, then it's just like, yo, that's what I think wasting time is. Like, why'd you even waste my motherfucking time? Type shit. I want to court too and get my masculine on sometimes. Facts. Like, I know broads like that, and this is what I'm saying. Just require my feminine seen cared for too. Exactly. And I'm telling you, men of today, I'm telling you, masculine men today, or should I just say heterosexual straight men of today, I'm telling you, your average Joe, your average male is going to be more receptive to a woman pursuing them, and then they go and treat you like the feminine queen that you are and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pat you on the butt and do all that great shit. You know what I'm saying? Get the baby oil out. You know what I mean? That's when it's like going to be a responsive thing because it's like they're in the clear to do so now. You know what I'm saying? Because men, from what I know, men are just not afraid to shoot their shot, B. Like, I'll shoot my fucking shot. Like, I'll be, even if it's just a flirtatious quote or something, you going to know that I'm on you in some type of way. And you either going to respect it, reject it, or accept it. You know what I mean? But at least I put myself out there. Fuck that. I ain't going to be waiting too long with that shit lingering in my brain. Fuck that. You know what I mean? But mine's is going to be more vocal, more forward. I think when women shoot the shot at actually meeting up, like, yo, or collaborating, actually doing something together, because a man would just be on a solo act, like, yo, fuck that. My ego is involved. I'm just going to shoot my shot socially. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman says, like, yo, we should do something together, like collaborate, that's that Venus shit. That's that partnership, that Libra shit. Then the guy's going to be like, oh, now I get to do something more than just be this fucking hunk of meat trying to smash some ass cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Communication is okay, hold on, let me back up a little bit. I'll break the ice eventually because I can't be living in fear. Nana, you feel me? And I feel that. I respect that because that fear shit is going to get in the way all of the time. What could have been, what should have been, even if we don't work out. If we don't know if we could have never worked out, that shit is corny, B. I can't go with that shit neither, Nana. Fuck that. I'm putting my balls on the table. Communication is the most important thing in any relationship, says Chaley. And not for nothing, it is. That's why the throat chakra is above the heart chakra. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to finish my chakra series, y'all. I ain't going to forget. But that's why it's above it. Because, yeah, we got attraction to each other. That's the love chakra. That's the heart chakra. That's Venus. We've interacted with one another. We're learning this whole balancing thing out. But it's one thing to be attracted to one another and have feels for each other. You know what I mean? But it's another thing to articulate what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And without that, it's like, damn. How we going to get to the crown? How we going to get the kingdom? How we going to get the empire if we don't use the throat chakra, you know? Because it's an orderly fashion. It's not in that order for no reason, B. So that's a fact. Tess says a woman that really like you will pursue you. Hold on. Let's make some motherfucking noise. Because I'm a strong advocate of that, as you can tell. So I may be a little bit biased out there. You know what I mean? But let me finish. A woman that really likes you will pursue you without her ego getting in the way of it And the man that like you in return gonna let you know the effort you put in did not go unnoticed. Maturity, facts. I'm co-signing that and confirming that as a man, yo. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not wild and reckless as I once was. I'm at that point to where I'm just like, yo, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna see. You know what I'm saying? You put that effort in, you gonna see that I admire the effort. And that's where that whole reciprocity shit comes in. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing. You ain't gonna lose face. Women be thinking, or some women be thinking that they're gonna lose face for approaching a dude. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe fear of rejection comes with that as well. But it's like, yo, fuck that. Would you rather live with the fear of not shooting your shot? Fuck that. You know, I know some tough broads out there shot at me, and I was just like, yo, I'm not dating any fucking body right now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the dating world. I thought I was a guru. I'm trying to still give relationship advice, but it seems like the more single I am, the better advice I give. It's like the more bitches I got, the better advice I give. And what type of world are we living in? You know? And when I say the more bitches I got, I mean, how serious can it be, right? I guess I'm practicing polyamory too. What else we got going on over here? I get animated sometimes, y'all. Y'all gotta pardon me. Licious Booty says, I will throw myself out there, but it's up to him to catch it. Oh, Jesus Christ. The way I just read that, you gotta understand, but let's give a round. The way I read that, Licious Booty, is like you got some little poetry going on. Maybe I shouldn't be reading that deep into it, but I understand exactly what the fuck you talking about. Yeah, motherfuckers gotta catch that alley-oop, though. You gotta catch that alley-oop, dog. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, too. Motherfuckers can't be dropping the ball, B. You can't. No, a man in love won't make a woman pursue. It will be like 50-50 or 60-40 at least. Happy. You think so? Yo, I'm not going to go too deep. I'm going to let you have your time right there. I'm going to let that marinate. I ain't even going to respond to it. Have your time, Happy Sky. You know what I mean? And stick to your guns. Straight like that. Stick to your guns. That's your core belief and you standing on that, do that. Fear will devour your soul like a gourmet buffet and then saunter away. Y'all poetic like a motherfucker. Hold up, Shaylee, what you say? Fear will devour your soul like a gourmet buffet and then saunter away, licking its lips and leaving you empty and hopeless. Don't let fear do that to you. Do not let fear do that to you. And let's give a round of applause for how poetic you motherfuckers are. God damn. Shit crazy. Let's look at some more relationship, y'all. Y'all wild as hell, yo. I fucks with y'all, B.
When a relationship starts, there's this tremendous period of paying attention to each other. And there's also a tremendous sense of overlooking the flaws of someone or even finding them charming. When somebody has like a snort to their laugh, it's like, oh, she's so cute. She has a little snort to her laugh. Whereas you're together for a bunch of years, it's like, what is the snort? What was that? And I don't understand why we do that in romantic relationships because we don't do it in other kinds of relationships. When you've had your kid for 5 years, you don't go like, oh, this freaking kid, like I gotta get a new one, you know? Or if you have your dog for 10 years, you're not like, oh, I've had this dog, I gotta get a puppy, man. They're so much cuter and fuzzier. A spouse is your roommate, maybe your co-parent, or your travel companion, or your sleeping companion. So that's a much larger field of things to feel like they're getting wrong, but it's also a much larger field of things to be grateful for. Tell your partner how much you value them. Tell them how beautiful they are to you. Why not? Like, what does that cost?
Yeah. Do you think that most relationships...
Now it's getting deeper, y'all. It's getting deeper. Boy was spitting some game right there, right? And it's like, yo, there's pros and cons. What he spoke of was unconditional love. And there's a such thing as unconditional love, and there's a such thing as conditional love. We're going to speak about conditional love a little bit later. But unconditional love, there's pros and there's cons to that shit because, sometimes you just never know. There's a level of uncertainty that comes with unconditional love. And I say this to myself, I say this to others too. There's some broads that's going to get on your last nerve. And there's other bros that's going to get on your necessary nerve. And I think it's realistic of men, women as well, to understand that there's going to be something that you don't like about your partner necessarily. And it might not be one particular thing. It might just be particular times in y'all lives together that y'all just don't mesh up well. And it's about how you weather that storm, which is going to determine, the strength that you have to actually be in a committed relationship or to be committed to the relationship. And it's very funny that he brought up the dog and shit like that. Like, yo, we literally put up with our dog shit. Like, literally put up with our dog shit, right? But you won't abandon your dog. You know what I'm saying? The masses won't abandon their dog, like, ever. But you walk behind them and pick up their literal shit out of the street. You could leave the house, come back, they fucked up your whole entire fucking house. They can leap up, jump, eat a slice of pizza out your baby hand. But that's your motherfucking dog. So how are we abandoning humans out here like that? How are we abandoning our broad out there like that? Like, yo, you know what? That thing you do just irks the shit out of me. Walking papers, you got to go, man. Like, what? Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's just, and then it's like, oh, for why? Why are you so confident that you're able to get rid of people like that? Because the internet? Because when people flirting with you in your inbox and shit, you know what I'm saying? You think that person is easily replaceable or whatever the case may be? I mean, it gets deep, yo. It gets deep. But, even the dog reciprocates as well. So we got to think about that as well. If you're the partner and you're not reciprocating, you living in a household, when you come home from a long day at work, that dog gonna jump all over you, wag its tail on you, wanna get up under you, watch a movie when you sit on the couch and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Sore fur. So what makes you think we don't want you to baby oil them butt cheeks when we come home and do the same motherfucking thing? You understand what I'm saying? And vice versa. The fuck? Baby oil. Yo, who told me to invest in a stock? I'm investing in some motherfucking baby oil. Nana says, I think treating your romantic partner as disposable is also a result of gender war crap heavily promoted. Yeah, that shit is nasty. Like, I tell you like this, right? If you're going to describe your grievance with the opposite sex, then do it by telling your story. I do believe in that. If you're going to bash the opposite sex, tell your story so we can understand where you're coming from and where that person was coming from, right? Because I'm a part of the MGTOW community. I understand. I done heard some stories that blow mine out of the fucking water. And I'm just like, damn, dude, I understand why you're that way. However, we not going to just bash a whole fucking gender because of some shit that you went through. Like, nah, B. It don't go like that. You're more mad at not understanding the mechanics of the world. You're more mad at the economy and how the economy and society played a trick on you and duped you. You're more mad at your lack of information, your lack of education, which maybe perhaps attracted that mate to you in your partnership choosing and stuff like that. There's different factors that factor into that whole shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, so come on, B. You know what I mean? But we do have to be responsible for each other too, because look, I'm telling you, you're going to fuck around and lose your mate to conditional love if you don't reciprocate that love that you just take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker come home. I had another video. I left it out though. I left it out because it was a skit, and it was evidently a skit. It wasn't real enough for me. It just wasn't real enough for me. But oh my God, if you'd have came home to some shit that it was just fucking bugged out. And I'm like, yo, if you don't reciprocate, you know what I mean? If you just take that love for granted, if you take someone's presence for granted, y'all living together and shit like that, like what? Baby oil them buns and stop playing. Let me see what y'all talking about. Such a good point. Me, Licious Booty said me. The sexiest thing anyone does is to show up when they say looking and smelling good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, put that shit on for me. Stop fucking around, yo. You know what I mean? Because that's the effort. That's the effort, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Now get the fuck off. We be knowing what we be doing, but we become complacent. And then when people start labeling y'all as roommates, you want to twist your face up. Now you want to go out and physically cheat and all that, but it's just like, yo, pick yourself up. Look alive, baby. Look alive. Fuck is going on with us? Type shit. Let's have the conversation at least, B. The fuck? All right, let's look at some more. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let's look at this is one of the comments to that actual video that I just played. And they said, might be an expectation you put on them. So when they don't meet those expectations, you stop loving them unconditionally. Now look, this is what I was saying before I even put the comment up there and looked at the comment again. You see what I'm saying? When that shit is taken for granted, I can't love you unconditionally anymore. You can't love me unconditionally anymore because there is an expectancy level that comes with love. It's a seesaw. It's a balancing act. It's a juggling act. Pause. That's crazy. But it is. We dancing, ma. So you can't just let me be busting all the dope moves, you know what I'm saying? And you just laying there like, what the fuck? Get the fucking baby oil. Stop fucking around. Another reason quickies are stressful. Give me time for real. My beauty rituals. That part too. You know what I mean? All of that busy, we too busy. Look, man, we gonna have to change the family dynamic, the household dynamic. Something's got to give. Because we can't be so busy that you can't get beautified and dolled up. Maybe I do want to fucking cosplay. Maybe I do want to dress up like Deadpool and come in and you're dressed up like some fucking fairy or some type of witch. I don't care if you're the Wicked Witch of the West or the East. I don't give a fuck which side of the coast you come from. Let's do this shit. But we need time for shit like that, right? We gotta prep. Come on. And people wonder why relationships are failing. Our creativity has been sapped out of it. You know? Niggas want to do quickies to gangster music. The shit is not adding up, B. We just seen the video earlier. That's not even how a woman's body even operates, B. We do not love unconditionally. Only our kids get unconditional. There is always conditions other adults. Yo, I feel you about that. What Chris Rock said, men are not loved unconditionally. Men are not. Yo, we are just like hunks of meat, yo. I'm kidding though. I am kidding. I know I'm valued by enough to know my value. Or there have been times when I've been valued enough to know my value. But even then, like, you're probably still right about the unconditional love part. To be loved unconditionally, I'm probably loved under conditions. I'm smart enough to know that. I'm loved under conditions. We're going to get to that too. Because some may argue, including myself, that conditional love is stronger than unconditional love. But there's reasons why. We're going to get to it. I ain't even going to, let me stop jumping the gun.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have given him away to any woman for $1, and she might have got some change. That's how I feel. We just couldn't stand one another, and it got to the point where we were yelling all the time, and my mother said, "Why are you yelling?" And I said, "Well, because I'm upset, because he's upset." And she said, "Don't yell, just let it be." And after, and he's like, "Well, where's the argument?" Because I wasn't going to participate. And then I'll say something like, "Hey, it's not fixing anything. When you're ready to talk, I'm right here." We still yelled a little bit, this and that, but it's a new habit that you have to get into because it's a new learned behavior. That's all I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Time right.
Now, I put that video in there because it seems like more realistic. It seems like something that happens in relationships, sort of like what we was already talking about, but it's relative to a transit. And this is what I'm saying. We could be with someone, right? And it's not necessarily that we don't like something about them. It's just we're having a time. We're going through a time. So I tell people that I do readings for who want to know about their relationships sometimes, I'll be like, well, where's your solar return this year? They be like, what? I'd be like, where's your solar return? Where's their solar return? They be like, what? I be like, you should know that. I be like, where's your annual perfection this year? They be like, what? I be like, you should know that too. Where's their annual perfection this year? You should know that too. Because you can be in different stages of your lives that you will continue to clash if you don't understand what that stage is, right? So let's say you don't have the knowledge of astrology to actually pinpoint these things. You may be figuring it out on the fly as you go, but you're still dealing with your mate, your partner. So the best thing that you could do in some instances is be quiet. But the more that you're quiet, the more that your partner wants to know, why are you quiet? And then when you start speaking, it becomes this argument and y'all are at each other, there's friction, and it's just because, yeah, I'm not acting the way I usually act because this year has something different for me. Yeah, I know we together, but something is happening to me internally and I'm impacted by it. But how do I communicate that to you? If you're my partner, if you're expecting things to be the same, especially like if they're like their solar return may be in a fixed sign or a fixed house. And so they're used to things being a certain way, but yours is in a mutable sign this year. So now something has to change about you as an individual, but you're dealing with a partner who's in a fixed state of mind. You understand what I'm saying? And if y'all don't have that conversation, again, have that conversation, like she said, and she was with her husband for plenty of years. He just passed away too. And he be visiting her and, you know, from the other realm and shit like that. She be making videos about that shit. But, you know, there's going to come a time, yo, when a transit gets to transiting, and you're going to have to ask yourself, are you strong enough to get through that with your partner? Because that's part of the extremities of being in a relationship, that seesaw, that balance going, you know what I mean? That friction, and it's just like, oh, better talk about that shit. It's better to talk about it. Fuck that. In my opinion, anyway.
Things run. However, I talk to a lot of men who have their blinders on, thinking the woman that he has is gold when she's really not. There are some behaviors that men just overlook in relationships, and these really end up biting them in the back. So consider this your reminder for the top 3 toxic signs in a woman. Number 1, she's jealous. If her jealousy translates to controlling who you can see, who you can talk to, what you can do, get out. Number 2, she thrives on bullying you. Open communication is one thing, but bullying is quite another. Are you going to put up with that? Number 3, she expects a double standard. Relationships should be an equal playing ground. So the same rules that she has for you, she should have for herself. So if she's making rules for only you to follow that don't apply to her, she's toxic. Signs of a toxic woman.
Now, I was saying, right? There are relationship gurus popping up by the hundreds, maybe even the thousands now, because of this Libra playground that we have with social media. And not for nothing, the things that she said, right, to me, is just not realistic, right? Even, let's start with the jealousy part. I don't think jealousy is a cool trait at all. But to sit here and act like it's not a thing, it's a feeling, it's a fleeting feeling, and to act like it's not a thing would just be irresponsible altogether in the social hierarchy of things, period. And some people will even tell you, I think being jealous is cute, you know, as long as it doesn't go too far. And, oh, that's adorable, but babe, I'm not going anywhere. Or, yeah, just make sure that you know I still got it. So don't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? All of those types of things gets tossed into there. Now, to the fact of being controlling, this is what I was saying before. Like, yo, some broads are going to get on your last nerve. Some broads are going to get on your necessary nerve. I got friends, girls that are friends, girlfriends, right? That can pinpoint, or they got some type of radar, some type of sonar that just be like, yo, don't fuck with her. They'll warn me like, yo, don't fuck with her. Matter of fact, or they'll tell me like, yo, so-and-so like you. She told me to holler at you for her and shit like that. I'm telling you right now, don't fuck with her. I'd be like, yo, I thought that was your friend. That's my friend for certain things. Not my friend for you. Trust me when I tell you. And I just be like, you know what I mean? First thing that goes off, what are you, jealous? You know what I'm saying? But it might just be they're looking out for me. It might be both. You understand what I'm saying? women's intuition, it might be all of those things jumbled up, but to ignore it completely, I think it's unrealistic. But the part that she said that really got me, even the whole bullying thing, right? Again, there's gonna be some partners that get on your last nerve, which I would say don't even fucking put up with that. There's gonna be people who get on your necessary nerve. You know what I'm saying? It can come across as bullying. It could sound like bullying. Yo, I need you to do this. I want you to do this. Or have you ever considered this? Sometimes you gotta listen in between the lines when your partner or somebody that cares about you is trying to tell you something, even if they're wrong, right? Men, we're great at this. We be knowing women are just fucking wrong, right? But we'll shut up. We won't say nothing. Why? Because we know it's more about the emotion that they are saying their words. It doesn't mean that their words are logical or makes total sense. It's the emotion that counts. Like they want something to change or they want a particular result in some area of life. So they're saying it and framing it with types of words that is just off to us. It doesn't resonate. I'd be like, yo, you could tell me to do such and such till you're blue in the face. I'm not going to ever do it. But I know why you're saying it. You want a result out of something that I'm already doing or not doing. I bet you I could still get you that result. So a man, a real partner is going to be like reading in between the lines and be like, I know what result they're wanting out of this or out of me. And if you can factor that into your psyche or into your life and say, you know what, that's actually for me. That's actually a good idea. It's just not going to be done the way that she thinks it's going to be done. It could come across as bullying. You know, I've seen couples go through it all of the time. You know what I'm saying? And especially them dudes that be like, happy wife, happy life. A lot of those dudes shut up and listen in between the lines. Now, whether you're going to move on it and take action on it, a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling any guy out there to step off of their square for what their woman is saying, but consider where the emotion is coming from of what your woman is saying, because she wouldn't be your woman if she wasn't saying those things. You chose her, dog. She chose you, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming from somewhere is my point. Now to say that partners are supposed to have the same thing, that part is just totally unrealistic to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that you're telling your partner to rid themselves of their originality, of their own identity, so that y'all can meet on an equal ground. I'm telling you, how does the bike keep going? Extremities, ups, downs, extremities, ups, downs. Sure, we want the middle ground. We want harmony. We want the balance. And we will strive to get that. I think the best relationships do strive to get that. Even if they got to spend some time apart from each other. Is it harmonious? It's still harmonious. Fuck it. But as long as we got the tough shit out of the way. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't reach the extreme of the extremes, should I say. But to say that we should both have the same exact things and not have the same exact things, that's not fair, B. That's not equality. That's, you know what's ironic about that? It actually is equality in definition. But who the fuck wants to live their life that way? Cooperation, compromise, yeah. I'd say more about cooperation. When you got to compromise, it's like, that's where shit gets icky for me anyway. Chaley says, 90% of the people in this world have zero idea of what the definition loyalty is. Shit, they don't even know the word. Yeah, loyalty is a very cloudy word in general. It's skeptical. I think people are more loyal to their work and their jobs and their professions than they are to actual people. Yeah, hell no, fuck that. It's just loyalty is a different animal, yo. I think people should make more content explaining and clarifying what it is. But I think to prove your point, I don't think people really know what it is. They can't really elaborate on it. We don't have much content about that. So we're going to switch gears again a little bit. We're going to get into some pimping mentality versus provider mentality, brought to you by yours truly. So let me bring up this article here, right? Let me read this out. Why are Americans so afraid of communism? I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Just give me a moment. I grew up in the Soviet Union in the 70s, 80s, when it fell apart through early 90s, so well past Stalin's reign of terror and everything that made communism evil. I have every benign memory of that time. I was 21 when we emigrated and remember pretty much everything. Like any socio-political frameworks, it has pros and cons. Universal access to health care, free childcare, 2-year maternity leave with guaranteed return to your previous job, free education of all the way through college, paid sick time, paid 24 days of vacation, fantastic public safety, secure retirement, job security, etc. Along with that, unfettered corruption, theft of public property because nobody owns anything. Everyone was on the poor side except for party officials or other people in positions of power where they could steal government funds. Deplorable public transportation, lack of housing, and a bunch of other small indignities we suffered every day. But overall, it could have been so much worse. While I don't yearn for the return or second coming of communism, I don't think that communism in of itself is evil. You have to remember that people have dreamt and aspired to a perfect socio-economic order for centuries, going back to Thomas Mann's utopia, but in the end, any system that is ran by flawed human beings will always fall short of ideal. I honestly believe there are wonderful sides to both capitalism and communism. If only we could combine the best of two worlds without proponents of either side going completely berserk about the compromise. See, there goes that word, compromise, right? So, I bring that up for good reasons. Trust me when I tell you. I want to make an analogy of the mindsets of pimps versus providers. Not only to stir the pot, but to get some understanding and brainstorm for solutions even. Let me get to the comment section real quick. Perfect 50-50 is unrealistic in my opinion. It can be an ideal if you like it, but we come with different potentials and capabilities and preferences on conduct. I think communist ideals are, I agree. I agree. I think 50-50, we're going to extend on that. I agree though with what you're saying. I think communist ideals are largely commendable. I just think any state is inherently corrupt. Facts, right? So this is why I find it interesting to frame this in that type of way, because I think the difference between pimps and providers, right? Talking about relationships. And when I say pimping, I'm talking about like modern day pimping. I'm not talking about street hooking. Like the modern day pimp is like a personal life manager, if we want to reframe the word, to where it's like a personal life manager of women. And I know this is going to sound sexist a little bit and everything. You're going to hear these tones. I'm just giving you a trigger warning, all right, y'all? But just hear me out. Because women are now encouraged to enter the workforce. You understand what I'm saying? In these days. So it amps them up as they enlist for some role or some position that they have to take. You know, it's the modern way to serve. Virgo naturally is the woman sign in the zodiac. The 6th house, it rules over naturally, and the 6th house rules over service, right? So naturally, a woman likes to serve. I'm just keeping it a bean. I've been around them all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a woman feels like she ain't doing nothing for you, she ain't needed, she's fucking out of there. That's a quick way to lose your bitch. If she ain't got nothing to do for you, like, fuck out of here. I say this shit all the time in my videos, but you know, providers on the other hand, now providers, they'll say, you know, I'm gonna provide whatever that you would alternatively be working for, right? Now, in return, I need you to do some chores for me. You got to cook. You got to clean. You got to wash my drawers. You got to suck and fuck only me. You got to pump out only my babies. And don't ever leave me, bitch, unless I, like, leave you or I kick you out or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this shit sarcastically. It might even sound like I have a biased tone. Maybe I do a little bit, but I'm just keeping it a bean of how I've seen these things turn out. Provider versus pimp. You know, pimping has its cons too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to that. But it's almost, a provider is almost like having a boss. It's like a boss fucking the cleaning lady that comes and cleans up the office and shit like that for 20 years or whatever the case may be. And what you see there is love under conditions. I told you I was going to get to this. That's conditional love, right? Because the boss is actually paying the woman to come show up to work every day and serve, do her job, do her 1, 2, Just so happened that he fell in love with the cleavage crease. She kept coming to work every day, and the next thing you know, he called her into her office one day, and one thing led to another. She ended up getting raise after raise after raise, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? This is the love under condition rule. You understand what I'm saying? This is the love under condition rule. That's more along the lines of capitalism, right? I'm going to go and we're going to work in these buildings and we're going to accumulate all of this wealth by doing it this way, but we're going to have a hierarchy standard. Understand this. I'm the boss and you're the subordinate. So you must do what I tell you to do. That's capitalism. Communism is more pimp-like. It's more free. Bitch, you free to do whatever you want to do. You choose. You get to choose whatever place you want to go because it's free around here. You understand what I'm saying? It's more laid back. And the con to that is a bitch be like, what? You don't care about me enough for me to stick around. Where's the conviction at? Nigga, like, you ain't no man. What type of fucking man are you? I need a motherfucker that don't play about me. That's crazy about me. And then pimp mentality is like, well, go ahead, bitch. There's motherfuckers everywhere. You know, we pimping all over the place. Go ahead and choose. You know what I'm saying? Walking papers. Because there's a whole line of other motherfucking bitches that's going to end up choosing me. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is free. So, you know, I'm just sorting that together so we can see like ideologies and analogies of how relationships are playing out now. Now, this also plays into the love under condition thing, plays into transactional theory and transformational theory, things that I studied in college and business college and in school studying business, right? So transactional theory is when, you know, people are performing, they're more concerned about their performance levels at the job or for the man or whatever have you. You know, you'll make it apply where it's supposed to fit. Where transformational theory is more along the lines of, look, I see your vision, therefore I'm going to stick it out with you and contribute to what you got going on because I see the bigger picture. And I want to master being a server, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I want to master the skills that it takes to serve in the bigger picture. So, you know, I might not be out there competing and trying to make money with everybody and this, that, and the third, but I will contribute in the best ways that I can because I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, that can be attributed in the household when it comes to relationships as well. And this is why I brought all of this to the forefront. Let me get to the comment section real quick, though. Where was I? The last part, why I gotta be, I'm a provider energy as well. Why I gotta be, I'm a provider energy as well. I can't be left and wind up with a disproportionate amount of security, amount of lack of security. Oops. So I think what you're saying, Nana, is you want to be able to provide too. You want to be able to be the provider too. And this is what I'm talking about the pimp mentality. You know what I'm saying? The provider, because these are the archetypes that are mainly in relationships. And now they're starting to scatter. They're starting to disperse. A lot of men, more than anyone, is angry about the provider archetype being like attacked or dispersed or eroding. And it's like, baby, come on home. You know what I mean? Be the soft feminine woman that I want you to be. Get butt naked, get in the kitchen and cook my food. And it's just like, chicks are like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I get busy too. Fuck is you talking about? Like, I know how to talk to people. I know how to use the gift of gab. Like, I know how to enter office buildings and make something shake. Like, what is you talking about? How you look at me? You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying, like, a pimp mentality, right? Because I don't want y'all to think I'm talking about street hooking. I'm not. But a pimp mentality is going to be like, okay, baby, go to work. Because a pimp mentality is going to be looking at, you're going to work for that boss. So he, in the pimp mentality's eyes, that's a lick. That's a mark. That's a trick. The boss is the trick. Oh, you going to pay my girl to come over there and work for you in your building? Okay. Go get that money. Bring home the check. Provide. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you're gonna have controversy behind this, right? Even men are gonna be like, you ain't no real man. What type of fucking man are you? You're gonna send your bitch to work? And I'm gonna be like, why not? You know what I'm saying? With a pimp mentality anyway, I'm gonna be like, why not send her to work? She wanna work. She wanna provide. Fuck is you talking about? She wanna serve in this type of way. Why I'm gonna stop her or prevent her from being who she's supposed to fucking be? If anything, I'm gonna coach her and inspire her to be the best at that shit. You understand what I'm saying? But the provider is like, no. I do all that shit for my bitch. She ain't gonna have to work a day in her motherfucking life. And I know women who have co-signed that too. Like, yeah, what? A real man is not gonna let their woman work or da 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 da. So what are you gonna be doing all fucking day? I'm being sarcastic now, but I'm keeping it a bean. Like, I would like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. This is why we're having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to be doing all day? On the phone with your friends, gossiping? Pool boy? Where the pool boy come from, y'all? Let's keep it a bean. Where the fuck did the pool boy come from? The pool boy came from that man provider going, working his ass off every day, all day, and then bringing it all home and giving it all to her, putting her on this pedestal, right? The seesaw is uneven, dude. And it's been like that for years now. You've been doing this. Seesaw uneven. She way up here on her pedestal. She don't even know what it's like to be down there. And you doing this to a specimen that was built to give and receive, to interact, to make two tango. She's just dying inside to do something for you. But it's like, oh, you don't want me to do nothing for you? Okay, hold my beer. I'm going to go get the pool cleaned that we never seem to be in together because you're always busy. I'm going to go get the pool cleaned now. Then the pool boy comes over. Y'all know what I mean when I say pool boy. Plus, what if Bay is injured or ill? You know what I'm saying? Nana got that soldier mentality. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like them what if scenarios. That's some Virgo shit too. Virgo energy is always drawing up what if scenarios. What if? Fuck that. You know what I mean? Ted says you better pimp her, not literally, but mentally through principalities. A woman admire you more when you know how to direct her. You understand where I'm coming from? See, I'm gonna stick to my guns too. Like I told you, I know what I'm saying is you're gonna hear some biased tones when I describe what I'm describing. You understand? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've lived and I've learned these things through experience, through trial and error. You know, like I said about our parents. My parents said, you know, my father tell me, don't do as I do as I say. But all I wanted to do when I was young was be my father. Like my father was that nigga. Be like, fuck is you talking about? I was in mad different sets of titties as a kid. Like I remember that shit. Like, yo, of course I love my mother. I wasn't tripping. I wasn't mad. I wasn't hating on this dude. I'm like, yo, you are the fucking man. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And it came about like, oh, you should be a family man. You should be this. And then it's like, come to find out. And I'm not saying I don't have it in me. You get what I'm saying, y'all? But what has worked for me and what has been working for me is something totally different. It's in my DNA. It's in my genetic makeup. And come to find out, this world largely revolves around the pimp mentality, especially when it comes to male and female dynamics. I'm just keeping it a bean. I see it all over the place. I don't want to feel like a leech, but I also want more freed up time for maybe not so lucrative creative pursuits. Right? Everything ain't about money too. And that's where also the transformational theory trumps the transactional theory, right? Because it's like this. You could be all for the money, like even like, I don't know if I should bring this up yet, but hold that thought, Nana, because it's real talk. Hold that thought. We gonna get right back to that. Let me put this photo up there. I will not be reproducing. Yo, Nana, shit. You are performing tonight, woman. All right. This is a quote that I glossed over when I was scrolling online. If having sex for money makes you a hoe, what does having sex for free make you? Right? And this is why I said hold that thought, Nana, because it's like this, right? This goes back to the transformational theory and the transactional theory. If you having sex for money, it does make you a hoe. That's a transactional theory, right? So a lot of the times we are under the guise, or we don't want to admit that we're out here hoeing. A lot of us are hoeing, myself included. Pimp mentality and all. A nigga still hoeing. Whole Foods gets my money, so Whole Foods is pimping me. You understand what I'm saying? Whoever getting my transaction is pimping me. Same goes for everybody else, you know? So the difference between this astrologically, between a person that's having sex for money and someone who's having sex for free, is the free person is really a Venus archetype. The for money is a Mercury archetype, I discovered. And although Venus does have value, it represents value and has a value attached to it, the exchange of value. When you think about it, love is blind, as the saying goes, right? You can close your eyes and stick your dick through a hole and it gets wet and you're like, oh, that's love. You understand what I'm saying? It takes two to tango. I have the feels, right? You don't necessarily need the traction through vision. You get the attraction by feeling the warmth, right? But do you know what's on the other side of that wall? You know what I'm saying? Do you know it could be a fish? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what's on the other side of that wall doing what it's doing? No, right? So if you're just at home having sex for free, it's like Nana said, you want to do more of the creative pursuits that don't necessarily translate into transaction and translate into money, monetary value. You know, you want to be in that Venus feel of just exchanging the value. See, what happened is society learned how to hijack Venus and make it tangible. Mercury, which rules over commerce, is what that trick is. Mercury's the trickster. So it says, well, how do I take that feeling of love that they organically have for each other and I turn it into an infection problem? How do I turn it into a commodity? And that's what happened to us. That's how we became pimps and hoes, because the person then became commodified. Think about when you buy a good from the store. Let's say a canned good. Let's say you like black beans, for example. You go to the store, you buy black beans. Why? Because you have interpreted mentally how the black beans serve you when consumed. Not only about how much they cost and how they make you feel, but you've interpreted of how it provides proteins for your body and stuff like that. All of these different new factors that gets categorized into the purchasing or the handling, the consumption of that commodity, right? So what happens when it comes to your love, your lover? People say, okay, well, you know, your babe might be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna love you for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait till you get home. You could do all that stuff in the workplace and this, that, and the third, as long as what they say, right? Oh, he coming home to me. As long as he come home to me, fuck, I'm tripping about. You understand what I'm saying? And you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I fucks with that. That's my soldier, right? But what happens, right? When the archetype, the guy that's out doing that Mercury shit, hoeing, right, with his compadres, it could be in there. They don't even got to be physical sex. It could just be going to work with people who are hiring him to come to work. He brings home the check, whatever the case may be. Vice versa for you ladies that are listening to, right? And then he's like, listen, something happened, ma. What happened? Oh, I got to go in. I got to do overtime. Now the things shift, right? Because now you're that person, whether it's the guy or the female that's going back to work, is being loved under condition, right? Under the condition that they're being paid value, which is love. Because once you bring the check home, you spend it on what you want to spend it on, right? That's love. But they are hijacking you, your place of business. They are hijacking you because they want your value for something else, right? And this is where couples and partnerships have clashes as well, because it's like, well, we don't have this in common. We don't have barely anything in common. So we can't really spend that much time with each other because I cannot pay you to do those things with me. You know what I'm saying? But those are your interests. Those are your mercurial thoughts. That's what satisfies you and gratifies you on another level. So I must let you go, right? And go do those things. And this is where the relationship gets tricky, because now you may be home, you know, on that Venus archetype love, seeing the bigger picture, the transformational theory, and then you got to deal with the thought process of, well, maybe he's having more fun over there. Maybe he's having more fun at work. Maybe they have more things in common, so that makes my relationship with him jeopardized. You understand what I'm saying? Because of that transactional theory. And it's just like, the more that those transactions continue, the more that bond might be secured between the transactional theory. So it gets tricky here, because we're talking about unconditional love and conditional love. And I would say the masses like to preach more that unconditional love is better. It's more powerful. It's all of the above, right? But when you think about it, according to the masses, who's getting the majority of the love? Well, if everybody's at work and busy, then it seems like transactional and conditional love is fucking winning right now. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I going somewhere with this or am I just running my mouth? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the shit that I be thinking about, y'all. This is the shit that I come up with. You know what I mean? And it's just like, again, the pimp mentality, I'm going to be like, yo, go to work. Go to work. You know? Go to work. Bring home the money. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got something in common or whatever the case may be, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going for the, you know, I'm thinking about the long haul. I'm thinking about the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I'm going to be in your corner regardless. You got a stressful day at work? All right, come home. I'm going to make something happen for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fluff the pillows and all that. I'm going to do what it do. You know what I mean? But bring that motherfucking bread home and we'll talk about it until or unless we can actually engage in those creative pursuits where I could be the entrepreneur, the head, the leader, and say, all right, look, well, you work for me now. You work with me now. You understand what I'm saying? You don't got to go in there and see the tricks, or we make the tricks come to us, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We get the customer base coming to us. That's what business is, B. So just like I said, Whole Foods get my money, they pimping, yeah. So whoever's in a skyscraper at the Whole Foods office, I don't care if it's a dumb, elegant blonde with tits pushed up to here. I don't care what color, what career. Y'all getting my money. Kudos to y'all. If y'all having great sex on the desk, fucking salute to y'all. I am not fucking upset because I understand the inner workings of this shit. I understand the dynamics. You know what I mean? But this is what we're facing here with these relationships. You know? These are the archetypes. These are the types of, and not for nothing, right? Think about this. Hold on. Let me remove this first. Let me put this up next because I don't want y'all thinking that I'm just running my jibs, flapping my jibs. This is actual findings from a research on some research that I've done. Or not, I didn't do the research, but I researched this part of the research because I had to do a dissertation and I had to tap into some things. So these are the findings that comes from transactional theory, transactional leadership and transformational leadership. So the findings are group level transformational leadership predicted followers' mastery goals, whereas group level transactional leadership predicted followers' performance goals. Within group differences in transformational leadership also predicted mastery goals. So it implies that these findings suggest that the leadership style plays an important role in the achievement goal followers adopt. Organizations may promote transactional leadership in contexts requiring that employees outperform others. In contrast, in contexts requiring learning and development, organizations may promote transformational leadership. So it's like I said, the transformational archetype or the woman or the man that stays home and says, look, I see the bigger picture, I'm gonna thug it out. They're actually mastering the craft because they're learning the game, even the parts of the game where those who are participating in transactional theory or transactional leadership are still part of the equation, a part of the bigger picture, especially when it comes to financing the dream in the bigger picture. So if you stick around for the long haul and you reap all of the benefits along the way, you do get some type of benefit from being the Venus archetype or the person that stays at home or the person with the pimp mentality. But also notice how women will compete with each other to actually give to a pimp, right? So this is what happens in the transactional theory any fucking way. Women will get hip to, and I know some women that love that shit too. They love the competition. They got strong Aries energy. Whatever is going on in their chart, they be like, oh, word, that's what she did for you. Watch it. I bet the bitch ain't get you. She ain't get you this. She ain't do it like that. She ain't do it like I'm about to do it. Watch this. Hold my beer. And it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Stop her? Fuck no. She's a woman. Let her do a thing, dog. Fuck is you talking about? But a provider mentality is gonna be like, no. That's not what a woman should be doing. Out there competing for no man. Woman needs one man only. That man is me. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me stop because I'm being now I'm being bad. But let me put this up, right? Because we was talking about communism and capitalism, and it's just like, oh, I know some people who have a political bone in their body might be like, buddy, communism never. Fuck is you talking about? But hold my beer, because what is this, sir, or anyone who has an opposed view to what I said by bringing up communism? What is this? We brought this up last episode, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 companies own all of these motherfucking companies right here. So, is this not communism? It's an oligarch, but when you think about it, right? A certain amount of players, a limited amount of players own everything. It's the same, it's parallel to the state or the government owning every fucking thing. So are we not living in communism? Being in a capitalist society? You know, I be making it make sense. Don't play with me, because I will research to the end of the earth to get the information that we need. I said this earlier in the Taurus video. I get paid to be a devil's advocate, B. You're not going to pull no wool over my eyes. Look at this shit. This is madness. This is corporate communism. This depiction right here is corporate communism. And they're in court right now, right? Their product, Lucky Charms, just got banned. Good. Put a dent in that motherfucker, because y'all are wild. Y'all are bad. That's what my Taurus reading was about, right? Being bad. But maybe they're good guys because they put the poison in the shit, right? So it's just like, oh, humans are going to be dumb. They're not going to fucking check the food that we sell to them. Stupid them. Good for them. Maybe they're good guys in some type of way because of their approach to things. Their approach to killing people. Legally. Let me pay some attention to y'all. Where we at, yo? Yes, you are correct, unfortunately. When women say they can't leave a relationship for financial reason, it speaks to the pimp prostitute paradigm. I left that out too. Thanks for bringing that up, Pierre. Because that's a fucking fact. When women say, when people be like, well, why'd you stay? Or why do you stay? Why don't you leave? I just explained to you why they stay, why they won't leave, why we stay, why we won't leave. You know? And then it said, pick me antics. What, when they get out there and they be competing and stuff like that? Possibly. You know what? I think it's a mixture. It is some of that, and it's also some. I know some chicks that do it just for the thrill. Like, they're thrill seekers. Like, they don't even necessarily care about me that much. Like, they're not even trying to win me. They're just doing it because of the it's like sports to them. And they don't even give a fuck what team they play for at some point. It's just like, I'm going to play. It's wild work. But shit. Workers should own the means of production under communism. Corpo communism is fascism. Facts. Right. And you see how they they split the terms, they split the words up to mean different things or ascribe different meanings to them, when they all kind of like really just two different meanings. You know what I'm saying? Either the corporations own it or the government owns it. Now, socialism, right? And I think that's what's supposed to be where the people participate and share in the ownership of everything. So it's like, it looks like, at least in the US, things are turning towards socialism. I said this before, and this was like years ago. The US has been adopted communism, has been adopted socialism, and it's just under a capitalism roof. Like, it's been happening. I can even name the year that it began. Like, I was on point about this shit years ago. I guess I'll wait until November rolls around to stir the pot about that. Oh, that's my Saggy bestie. She got something to prove to herself. I'm that energy. In that energy. Yeah, it's just like they be on their mission. You know what I'm saying? And I just be the catalyst. I just be the platform for that shit. Like, all right, well then go ahead. Show me what you got then. Fucking go ahead, And play nice. Like, don't be trying to knock my other bitch off neither. You know what I'm saying? Like, play nice. Cause the fuck should be wild, but yo, this is the playing field. This is the stage of life, y'all. This is what that Libra shit is about. Because once you get Libra, people, you're exposed. People know. They be like, oh, so-and-so will be messing with so-and-so. or so-and-so be collabing and working with so-and-so. It's like everybody know once you make it public, once you make that post, it's on now. Everybody know. So it naturally ignites some type of competition in some spaces. And then you got your, like I said, you got your transformational chicks, your Venus archetypes. It'd be like, I see what you doing, Playboy. Go ahead, play. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in your corner too. I got your back too. Not on the level that they going at it, but I'm a master my own skill. I'm a master this shit. They doing it for performance reasons. I'm doing it for mastery and development, you know? And you could admire both sides. Or you could admire whatever side you choose. You know? But to facilitate is a pimp mentality. The provider mentality is going to dictate. It's pretty much what I'm saying. This is what I need you to do, and bitch, if you get insubordinate, there's gonna be some issues around here. And low key, some of the provider mentalities be wanting to be polyamorous, or they be wanting to be pimps, or at least they act like it. Some of them get their check and they go blow it on different tricks and chicks and shit like that. It's just like, nigga, if you wanted mad other bitches, why didn't you just say that? Why don't you just behave like that? You know? So if communists won't allow GMO or glyphosate or pesticides and our basic needs for food is pure, then it's a tick. Being controlled, though, is a big no. Right, because that's I think that was part of the description that was explained in the communism part, right? The dude that experienced communism, it was a whole bunch of free everything. Like, yo, even under capitalism, we don't get free. I think New York just finally made a community college free. Like, everything costs money in this capitalist society. Like, communism is giving free a whole lot of free shit. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with a cost. It goes back to the Venus archetype as well, right? Okay, you got access to me for free. You get to hang out, you get to live with me, you get to be my girl, right? But if I gotta go, if business calls, if duty calls, I'm out of here. So it's like the only way you can keep up with me or be in the office with me, working with me throughout the day, so you get access to me 24/7, is you gotta know what I know. You gotta be in the same field I'm in. You gotta be in the same industry I'm in. Or you're going to lose your spot to people who are actually paying for my time and my energy. You get it? All of this shit is intertwined, B. All of this shit is intertwined. So I'm bringing it on home. I'm going to put this video up. I got like 2 more vids, I believe. Let me put this up.
Sensitized so much already to seeing so many naked human bodies. What's going to happen with the younger generation coming up if from a young age they've been exposed to explicit content without consent? Like, they're just basically being traumatized. They're just being bombarded with this explicit content, and there's no escaping it because even on platforms like TikTok, a lot of OF creators will put in their links to their adult fun time pages, and we know TikTok and a bit of Instagram is something a lot of young kids use, young teenagers and young adults. My worry is that it's literally everywhere. So I ask myself this question: if already we are having a generation that is desensitized to seeing naked human bodies, and we see it, people want more performative acts of intimacy, more intense, more more exclusive, more exotic, more like you need more because you've been overexposed. You get what I mean? Like, I just mean that you've been exposed to normal naked bodies that I'm asking myself, by the time these individuals grow from children, teenagers, and adults, what will be their appetite?
Now, she's got a point there. She's got a strong point there. I think it pertains to partially the Aquarius age being ushered in and trying to get rid of the 12th house, so to speak, to get rid of the veil, because the veil exists in the 12th house. So that means you would also remove discovery. So we began this episode talking about the library, right? And what if we had all of the knowledge that ever was, ever will be, and ever is at our fingertips? You know, what's the point of even having a secret or keeping a secret at that point? What's the point of discovery? There would be, well, I guess you would still discover things when you read up on them, but there would be no mystery involved. There would be probably no obstacle, no challenge. It just wouldn't make sense anymore to have a 12th house, in it, so to speak, you know? But as she's explaining, that comes with a cost, and the cost is, it's kind of like what you see now, right? A lot of children are being raised off iPads. Like, and parents, not for nothing, I guess you could say it's parallel to putting children in those like little playpen things that had the legs cut out when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to occupy the kid, but not let them do some dangerous shit while you over there cooking, or you know, you on the phone with Big Mama or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the iPad. Here, shorty, take this. You know what I mean? But it's like now these kids are growing up so fast, and they have access to all of the knowledge that ever is, ever was, or ever will be. So the cost of that is being exposed to content creators who are just creating, right? No filters, no guidelines, no control settings. And of course, people are going to say, well, it's up to the parents to put the control settings on this, that, and the third. Okay. Well, what happens when that kid gets at of age to where they, well, not even that. What happens when that kid gets out of age to where they're playing with other kids, and the other kid's parent doesn't have the controls on it? And the other kid, the bad kid, maybe, right, is like, hey, did you see this? You know what I mean? Next thing you know, the little shorty turned out, or at least got their mind, has access to that. So does that make them more educated? Does that make them more intelligent? Does it make them more empowered? Or does it make them more susceptible to dangers that comes with things such as sex, bed pleasures, also ruled by the 12th house in Pisces? You know, how does it equate later on in life? It's a real interesting topic because I think the door still swings both ways. This goes so much back to the Taurus reading that I did today, because is it bad or is it good? Like, you gotta really question it. So I guess you gotta just frame yourself to believe like it's just bad. It's just all fucking bad, you know? And then you go live your life, and then it's like whatever. I myself have come back full circle, I guess, to putting like paywalls and filters on my stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I took a time out. I rephrased shit, I reframed things, revised it, so a lot of my stuff wasn't up like it used to be, or whatever the case may be. But now that it's coming up more, I've even done the same thing for my content and stuff like that, because I get it. I still want there to be a 12th house. I think the 12th house, that veil shit, is kind of a layer to say, well, you know, if I don't want to go over that way, I don't necessarily have to. But if I want to go on the road to discovery, I do understand that I have to do some research. I have to peel back some layers in order to get there, you know? That's just my opinion or my perception on it. Of course, being in head and seeing stuff that is exciting and depletes dopamine. So is the crown chakra. So is the crown chakra being co-opted. Jaded people looking for greater pastures and really dopamine. True. It's like a casino. It's like a it's like a casino. It's like a break from the turmoil or the work ethic, or even the depression, playing on people's mental well-being. And not for nothing, like, look, I used to deal with a woman, right? Gina Stewart. Shout out to Gina Stewart from Australia, as a matter of fact, Pierre. The hottest grandma in the world, right? We did a lot of work together a few years ago. I'm gonna go reach out to Gina too. I haven't spoken to her in a while, but you know, she's pretty much a rebel. She got an Aquarius ascendant. She's a rebel content creator, became the hottest grandma in the world like overnight. She just posted some photos and then she just blew up, right? And her photos are pretty racy, you know? And the feedback started being like young males were actually more they felt like they could go through the day better after seeing a picture of her. So, you know, I don't know, it's psychologically, or should I say scholastically proven that seeing a pair of breasts every day helps the health of men, or whatever the case may be. True study, right? True shit. I'm just not trying to see tits, right? But it's like that's kind of what Gina Stewart was experiencing from the feedback of young men that were viewing her content. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a seeking for a hit of dopamine. I think some people, especially the younger generation, they're not naturally producing the dopamine maybe at the levels that we are. And that's just a theory of mine, but maybe it's true. Maybe their dopamine levels are just, or maybe it's fizzled out because they have so much access, or they grew up on the internet. So that's all they know. So the dopamine is not naturally produced in their body the way that it was before. I would say at the level or at the rate that it was before. And that's what technology does to any society, to any society. But who's to say what's right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? Good or bad. Yeah, shit gets real. Not only are the kiddos pacified with shitty content, but schools want to use smart devices even earlier to monitor and track learning progress to predict what they'll grow into. That's a fact too. It's a new way of gatekeeping. So like I said, what was it earlier in the Taurus read again? I said something about you know, a lot of people are being exposed that were in the gatekeeping process of traditional entertainment industry. But now with the technology advancement, that entry to barrier is more free now. It's freed up. It's simpler. And we ain't asked for all of those people to be exposed. Y'all are throwing them to us. Y'all are tossing them to the lions. We ain't asked for that shit, but fuck it. Now we're entertained by it, but it's just like, and some of us only are entertained by it. And it's just like, why y'all doing y'all own people like that? Because y'all know y'all allowed them to run amok like that. Fuck y'all telling us now for? It's too late. You know how many people's careers that could have been, should have been, would have been the top tier talents are not there because you put some person that you wanted to fucking ass in the position that the person who really deserved it, you know what I'm saying? Or you wanted to, you know what I mean? That was pretty graphic, but you get what I'm saying. And sometimes I gotta say what I gotta say, you know what I mean? I'm just keeping it a bean. Like kindergarten smart tables. Right, like, but it's like a new stronghold. If you could predict what a person or what a child is going to grow up to be, or you can, you know, you can collect information on their preferences, what they choose over what, this, that, and the third, you can get an idea of what the economy is going to look like later on in life. You know what I mean? I think it's pros and cons to it. I think it'd be good to be able to sell products and services to people based upon their natural tendencies and preferences. However, at the same time, if you become predatory in that area, it's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. I agree with that. More access, less excitable. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think the veil, I'm a Pisces, you know what I'm saying? So the veil, the intrigue that comes with discovering or doing your homework, I want to know what that person is about. You know what I'm saying? I want to know more about that person. Where do they go after a certain hour? Why they phone be off after this? Why they don't talk to me as much as I want them to talk to me? Like, I think there's still pleasure in that. I think that's probably the biggest dopamine hit. It's like foreplay. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest dopamine hit that a human can grasp. It's like peeling back the layers of some shit. But if it's just so easily accessible, it makes it almost boring. It makes it back to the point of the beginning of the video. Why are we even here again? Why should we experience with this avatar if we have all of the knowledge at our fingertips? We know if the stove is hot and we touch it, we gonna burn. So why are we playing this game again? What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? But it definitely makes you question the mundane things of life that you are kind of like coerced to do. Like Nana, I think, said like we could stay home and do like creative leisure pursuits that don't necessarily translate directly into money. Like we'd have a fucking ball doing that, wouldn't we? Shit. But we gotta pay bills, right? Or whatever the fuck, like. Yeah, people, we've been bamboozled a little bit out here. Blue screens deplete dopamine too. Yeah, somebody, that's what I said, we're going to start coming to these episodes with solutions. Next time somebody, even myself included, I'm going to make a note of this. They got the glasses for that, for the blue light. It's true. I want those glasses because I do a lot of computer work, y'all. I'm coding and all types of shit. I would like to a pair of those glasses because it's not natural, at least to the development of our species up to this far. You know, we're sunlight beings. So to be inside and with this blue light, all of it is it's not natural, you know? We're probably going to morph into something more if we continue that shit. Boys growing up less buttered and cliche and without Mims can see why Gina is so attractive to young men. Yeah. Let me make sure I understood that right. Growing up less butter than cliche. What is that? Because all I'm thinking is baby oil when you say butter than cliche. And without Mims, I think that's without moms, can see why Gina is so attractive to young men. Gina's very attractive too. She's highly attractive. Like she really got it. Like, and you know, that was part of her rebellion too. She went through a lot of shit because the powers that be in the digital world, you know, shadow banned her numerous amounts of times, banned her photos, or she got banned from different platform sites and all that. So she did some shit one day, right? She changed her profile from female to male and then started posting pictures again. Don't you know none of them shits got flagged? And she just did that to make a point. And I was like, yo, that was some genius shit to do. But it just goes to show, the attack on the female, on the feminine and the female body. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people that they playing a wild game out here. They're playing a wild game out here. Gina Stewart, I gotta reach out to her. I ain't speak to her in a minute, but me and her used to do some work together. Okay, I thought that's what you said, Pierre. We worked together. We collabed a few times when I was more heavily on the blogging part of my business, of the entertainment aspect or whatever the case may be. And she was just in the news so much. Like, I just reached out to her one day. I'm like, yo, we should do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she helped me make great content as a journalist, just as, you know, tracking what's going on in the entertainment industry and all of that. And especially with the digital spaces. So, yeah, she's a model from Australia. You could look. I think you could definitely find her on Instagram. You know what I mean? You could definitely find her on Instagram. Yeah, but she blew up rather quickly, and just took off. Poof. And yeah, it was interesting times. I'm gonna put her name in the comment section. Maybe I could get her back on the website or something like that in the near future. I'll see what I can do. I got one more vid to play.
To certain things, there's things that even if my parent can control what's on my phone, my friends and all that, I'm just talking from a place of worry about what kind of generation are we building if they are so overexposed, not only to the adult content as well, but graphic, violent content without searching for it. Before, the internet used to be a maze that you had to search, you had to find keywords to find like disgusting or scary things or adult fun time things. But now it's like you don't even need to be doing that. And Twitter, even if you can't even parentally filter it. So, darlings, I don't know. I wanted to rant about this because it's something I'm seeing and it's increasing. And I'm just like, can the adult content creators, like, girl, especially the ones who are doing it correctly, like creating a paywall to see more. But what about God, there's no reason why I should be seeing pom pom and sausage for free.
Okay, so she's basically talking about what I was talking about, like paywalls. She says she's not so upset about adult content creators and stuff like that, but it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it, right? It's her point, and she's concerned about it. She's worried about it. I hope y'all are seeing these tags that are, because their names are on the videos and stuff like that. I just haven't been mentioning their names, but you can go shout out their channels. That was Wendy Royal video who I just shown, so y'all can go check these creators out when y'all get the time. So let me get to the comments. Astral projection tutorial, that's coming before I close this out, Nina. That's a fact. Thanks for reminding me. Dating men a lot younger, I see how they crave nurturing. That's a fact. We love titties, yo. Look, and I'm saying it like I know people be like, yo, you need to grow up, nigga, but I'm just keeping it a bean. Like, I love some tits. I don't give a fuck. Just keeping it a bean. And I'm probably gonna always be that way. I'm just keeping it a bean. But that's the nurturing part. You know, I was a breastfed kid. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. You know, how many kids are breastfed these days? I don't know. But I'm hearing it is not a lot. You know, I'm hearing Similac and all that done took the fuck over. So, children should have their internet access monitored. YouTube kids had some disturbing ass stuff too. And pedo creators. Yeah, they done ran amok. It's like almost too late from what I understand. I've seen some shit and I'm just like, yo, that shit went on for a long time, and then YouTube was like, oh yeah, you gotta make the checkbooks to say that it ain't for kids. But the shit that is for kids is like, yo, are you sure that that's for kids? Or are they like targeting kids? Like, I done seen some shit. Even the cartoons, like, we could just start with the cartoons. I'm pretty sure y'all seen those pretty questionable developments of the cartoon characters and how they're drawn and what they look like before they reach their full identity. Like, yeah, that ain't nothing. Come on, man. Ain't nobody see. Look, the veil is lifted. I tell you that shit. Yeah, I agree that they should chill on the extreme content, but OnlyFans is helping a lot of women become independent, and that's partially my point as well. Y'all know my mentality already, so I don't got it. It's not like I'm something new that I've been discussing here, but you know, part of my whole fiber on the entertainment industry is supporting women who support themselves, especially when they utilize the qualities of being a woman to support themselves, like, and not being suppressed by the patriarch. I'm just keeping it a bean. You know what I mean? You can call it what you want, you know? We're gonna call it what it is, though. Believe that shit, you know? But like I said, right, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. It's the same way that Wendy Royal is saying, ultimately, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know, bring some of that 12th house shit back. Bring some of that Pisces shit back. Put up a fucking paywall. You know what I'm saying? Put a filter up. Put some type of controls in the way. You know what I mean? Build a rabbit hole. That should be fun. Build a fucking rabbit hole. You want to see this? Come here. You want to see this? Give me your email here. You want to see this? Now I need your cell phone number. You want to see this? You got to be a member now. Subscribe. You know? The fuck? But, you know, we're getting there. And is the quality of breast milk good? Are majority praying over their carcinogenic meals? Right, Nana. You know what I mean? Because this shit done got real fucking wicked out here, B. Real wicked out here to where, and you know what, that, you bring that up, right? To my understanding, that's where Nesquik, I believe is the company, came up with the idea to make their milk, their powdered milks and shit like that, because they were in Africa doing studies and there was some malnutrition going on in Africa. Well, you can understand where in some impoverished areas, of course, there's going to be some malnutrition going on because there's not adequate nutrients to support the health and the development of a child. And before that, even the human being that produced the child, right? So what a great area, or what a great convenient area to actually do that study, to have grounds to build their product, right? But even here in the States, we are aware of all of the chemicals that are in those foods. So men, I'm speaking for myself and I'm speaking for men watching this. Are we watching what our women eat? Are we conscious and aware of that shit? You know what I'm saying? Was she shoveling down her mouth and then we trying to pump some cum into her and just like, yo, are you sure about that? Like, what are we doing? We building chemical babies? It's like chemical warfare. It's wild out here, B. It's sci-fi out here. Elsa Gate is basically spanned low-budget violent content slipped into YouTube depicting popular characters doing violent or perverted things to each other. YouTube kids specifically, I mean. Elsa Gate? Oh, that's news to me. Damn, that shit sound wicked. Breast milk will always be the better option unless there are drugs or alcohol involved. I mean, that's what I would come to terms with believing, because it's like some brain food that comes from there to the titties, right? I mean, it just seems natural to me to drink titty milk than cow milk. Like, what? What have we done? What has happened to us? Look, I blame the parents. How did our parents let us get away with this? Again, I was breastfed, y'all, so I'm just saying, man, listen. Astral projection. These are some tips for astral projecting. If you don't have blackout curtains, try to get some. Make your room where you sleep and rest your head as dark as it possibly can get. If you do sleep with a partner or you sleep with your children, try to start making your kids sleep in their own beds, in their own separate rooms, even though they might be attached to you and up under your tits all the time. It's time that they depart. You know what I mean? Because astral projection requires that type of room. Now, you can still do it when you're sleeping with a partner, but if you got the type of partner that sleep, like they got sleep apnea, like they choking and shit, like that can be a serious issue, you know? Or if they wild and they get the flail in their arms and shit like that when they sleep, that can be an issue to your astral projection too. But if you got more of a calm partner who just lays it down and they good, you can still astral project with your partner in the bed. Now, what can also help, titty milk will cater to your specific deficiencies. Right? It's just so biological. It's magical even. Like, the fuck? I'm going to always support some titty milk. The human body is insane. If you can have a baby, then the body will make sure it produces what the baby needs. You feel me? Like, it would be common sense, right? But it's also so fucking magical, B. What is the difference between astral projection and lucid dreaming? All right. Astral projection and lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, there's really no big difference. The only difference is the level of the dreaming. So I don't know if y'all seen Inception. They talk about the different levels, like dreams within the dreams and stuff like that. Lucid dreaming is like the very infancy part of astral projection, of dreaming. It's when you're still it's in the beginning of the theta phase, to where you're like, you can even still see, like, let's say you fall asleep with the light on in your room. You could in lucid dreaming, you could sometimes still see the light on in your room through your eyelid, or maybe one of your eyelids might open while you're actually in the dream and dreaming, but you're still having a dream. You know what I'm saying? So lucid dreaming, you're also more conscious, so you have more of an ability to direct yourself in the dream as well. You could do a lot when lucid dreaming. It's really beneficial. You can also get a lot of downloads and just visions that don't necessarily translate to a full dream. You can do a lot of remote viewing through lucid dreaming as well, because you're not fully tapped in. Remote viewing, when you get to dreaming and you could look in the mirror and you're somebody else. So you actually entered someone else's body and you're seeing through their eyes. That person could actually, so when they say, yo, people can't be possessed and can't enter other people's bodies, question that shit, because I've done this on numerous occasions. I've been Caucasian, bars, and all types of shit before. You know what I'm saying? So you can see through another person's eyes, and you can actually be that person and in the location that they are at that particular time through remote viewing. Much more easily done when lucid dreaming than it is when you're actually in the astral projection. Once you project when you're in a dream, you're in. You know what I mean? And you can't necessarily, sometimes when you're in astral projections, it's more challenging to know that you're dreaming in contrast to lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, you'll know. Astral projecting, it's like Inception. And he'd be like, how did you know you're in a dream? And she's like, I don't know. How did we get here? And she's like, oh shit, we're dreaming? That's like that's astral projection because you're in that motherfucker now. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily remember how you got there, but now you're in and you're like, oh shit, I done did a whole bunch of shit that I was unaware I was doing before. Now I realize I'm dreaming, I'm projecting. You definitely have to do a separate video on this topic. Oh, for sure. I believe when springtime come around and Pisces season come in, I'm gonna go in on the lives. But you could also search the Rated Benjamin YouTube channel, and you can see some videos that I've done on just dreams alone. Some people people are really into that shit. They love those dream videos, but they don't get a lot of traction. I don't know, for whatever reason. I'm not blaming nobody, you know what I mean? But it's just like a certain niche, I guess, on the channel to where only certain people go and they view them, or they're not pumped up in the algorithm like my other videos on relationships and shit like that. But another thing that can assist you in astral projecting, Nana, and everybody else that's watching, of course, is those what do you call those things that you put over? You know, the things that you put over your eyes when you go to sleep. I don't use those, but they can be useful. All right, they can be useful, especially for those of you who are more sensitive to light than others. That can also assist you in that. The dream series was fun, wasn't it? Wasn't it? And I've had more dreams. I've had more dreams about that series too. I've had more dreams about the series too. I pump my brakes on it. I just know that it's the saga continues. Just know that. What else is good? Having things that are not noisy in your surroundings. Also, not having a cluttered space around your sleeping area is important for astral projection. Because it's just like the clutter subconsciously, the clutter can prevent you from projecting. And I don't mean like you have to have, see, some people think astral projection is just floating outside of your body and being able to look down on yourself sleeping. People call that an astral projection. No, astral projection is AKA dreaming. So wherever you're at in a dream, you are astrally projected to that place, to that area. But anything in your circumference that can prevent you, because it's like your sensory, your skin organ, right? It senses things, especially your sixth sense heightens when you're in the dream state, right? So when your feelers pick up on mad clutter and shit that's around you, it's gonna kind of like interfere with you having the most clear and vivid projection that you could possibly have. A sleeping mask. That is what it's called, right? I could have just called it a fucking sleeping mask. I'm thinking it got some fancy name or some shit. What are your thoughts on sleep paralysis? I'm curious. It's truly a thing. It's what people call a witch riding your back. It definitely happens. Sometimes it only happens because you're like, you fell asleep on your arm. So you know how sometimes you could like tuck your arm under your pillow or something like that. And then you end up, what happens is your arm falls asleep. So then what happens, and while you're dreaming, the rest of your body goes numb too. And it's impacted that way as well. But there are other times when sleep paralysis or a witch riding your back is very much more serious, and it's done for reasons, and other entities can get involved with doing it as well, that you're being suppressed in that projection for a reason. Sometimes you're being held down so you can see something and not say something because you'll interfere with the projection. You'll say something that'll trigger somebody else to say something and do something that is going to fuck up everything that you need to see and hear. Right? So it's kind of like someone is or an entity is stopping you from getting in your own way, from hearing and seeing some shit that you're supposed to see. Because look, you can interfere in dreams, right? You can interfere in projections, move some shit around, and it'll change somebody's fucking real life. Yours included sometimes. I done rearranged the furniture in a girl's house before, and the next day, the next following week, they got married and all kinds of shit. But they were worried in the dream and concerned about their partner because they're like all over the place and not as serious about the date and all of that as they were. The money was kind of funny and all of that. I got privy to all of this information because we have a relationship in the 3D. You know what I mean? But after I did that projection and I moved shit around, and I basically, when I organized her apartment, I organized her life. Then she went from frowning and being down and depressed in all of her social media posts to being happy and enthused. And then they had the wedding and everything was great and fantastic. She had the same thing on in the dream that she had on in this particular photo that she posted. It just all signaled to me, all synchronicities. I was like, oh shit, you know? So be aware that being ruled by a witch in your sleep, or AKA sleep paralysis, is not always a bad thing. It's trying to show you something that you would have otherwise interfered with and fucked it up. Other times, it's just some evil entity, or should I say, yeah, fuck it. It's just some evil entity lurking around and fucking with you and like also trying to get you to see some shit too. You understand what I'm saying? And trying to pump some fear into you as well. You know what I mean? And if you say something, like you might say a key word or a key phrase that can scare them away, that can scare that entity away, or make the dream dissolve, or have you project into another dream that is more suitable for your mindset, and that entity is overpowering you and not allowing you to do that because they know you're going to say Jesus Christ or some shit like that. Y'all seen that video about the Coke? Real quick, y'all seen that video about the Coca-Cola, what do they call that, kiosk thing? It's digital, and you could type in all of the words under the sun except Jesus. Fuck it, since we having fun putting companies on the chopping block and shit, I just thought I'd throw that out there. But yeah, real shit. What my Yaya told me, Yaya, that's G-Ma, right? Yeah, Big Mama. All right, told me about lucid dreams of shadowy people attacking her, dragging her to hell. And as soon as she told me that, it happened to me that night for the first time. See, this can also impact your astral projection. So you're asking how you can astral project, right? Having this conversation, some of y'all might have astral projections tonight just based upon this conversation. The same way that your Yaya told you about that dream. You know, because it might be something that she has spiritually and something that you inherited as well. Because I know, like, my predecessors, they come from the tribes. You know what I'm saying? We're indigenous. Half of my family is indigenous from this land, and my other half is from South Africa. So this shit is inherited. I'm convinced. Like, this shit been happening with me since I was a child. I didn't know exactly what to do with it. I was kind of fearful of it at first as well. Didn't want to fuck with it until I realized, like, yo, this is my shit. So it's either I accept it as a gift or tolerate it, and then it be my curse. You understand what I'm saying? So it could be something like that. Also, where's your Mars at, Nana? I got a Mars in the 12th, so I often have dreams that sound like the one that your Yaya told you about. I won't say often, but it could happen at any time is pretty much what I'm saying. And I'm just used to dealing with that type of shit now because my Mars is a soldier, you know, so I'm always, it's a lot of the times in my projections, I'm fighting for something or fighting for someone, fighting for an ideology, having to change something. Like I go on missions. So a Mars in the 12th house can produce that type of astral projection. Nightmares have given me sleep paralysis, like waking up during REM sleep, stuck. Yeah, same shit. It's scary as fuck though when you really feel like you're into some shit. I think the most fearful part of it is when you screaming, when you're trying to yell some shit out, and you can't hear yourself, so you know nobody else can hear you. Even in the projection, like there's been times where I've been surrounded by people, my friends and all kind of shit, and I'm trying to tell them about the darkness that's fucking looming around us, and they can't fucking hear me. They actually see me as sleeping in my own astral projection in my dream. While I'm literally sleeping in this phase, they see me as sleeping in that phase. And I'm like, fuck, y'all don't see me tweaking over here? It's like, no, they cannot. It's fucking wild, yo. And also not being able to move. Like, yo, there's dreams that I be trying to get myself out of, and I catch sleep paralysis and I can't. So I gotta like wait it out until that shit is done with. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta tolerate all of the shit that's happening in that projection until that shit just lets up off you. I've learned to like not fight it. Once I can't fight it no more, I'm not gonna keep fighting this shit. And it seems to like work for me to like stop fighting it. Then eventually it frees up and I'm out of there. You know what I mean? But it's like, whoa, what the fuck? For me, it's always been where I'm trying to pull myself out of the dream and I can't. So I was just explaining, yep, and I can't, or I get into a loop of almost getting out and getting pulled back in. I fucking love the dreams where I get out and go back in. Like I literally wake up and then go right back to sleep because motherfucker be tired. I ain't getting up to go to the bathroom or none of that. I don't have to. Go right back to sleep and I'm right back in that same dream. Oh, that's when I be knowing this shit is so powerful, B. Like, how the fuck are you able to do some shit like that? I can control the dream best with my imagination. Somehow I close my eyes in the dream and it works wonders. Yeah, that's when you really got a knack or a strong subconscious, I would say, when you can start controlling your astral projections. It's a beautiful thing when you can. Mars in the 12th house here too. Okay, Aya, so you got that. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. That happened to me not too long ago. Woke up trying to scream for help and unable to move. Yeah, that's when it gets borderline terrifying. Cause you're like, what the fuck? You can't even hear you. And you know damn well you're screaming. Like your body is yelling right now. I have to see where my sister's Mars is. She has experienced similar. Yeah, the verbal and motor functions are limited when we're sleeping. Yeah, it's all in the mental. You know what I'm saying? It's all packed in the subconscious mind. So the physical body in the 3D is just like, if anything, it's just an interference. Like I said, if you're sleeping on the wrong angle or something, like sometimes, like I've been playing football games in the astral projection, for example, and I'm trying to throw the football, but I can't throw a perfect spiral. And it's because I'm sleeping on my stomach and I got my arm tucked under my pillow. You know what I'm saying? So I can't throw the football the way I'm supposed to throw it. But if I was sleeping on my back, or maybe even on my right side, because I throw it my left, then I'd have got that football off. You know what I'm saying? Dreamt the cops threw a flash grenade through my window because I witnessed, I've had those dreams before, because I witnessed them murder someone in the yard. Yo. Definitely pay attention to those dreams. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely pay attention to those dreams. Don't let those things fly over your head. I always get myself out or get the help of a cat like that one time. Cats are very spiritual animals. Have you ever died in a dream? I have died in a dream once, twice. Just off the rip, I can tell you I've died in a dream twice. I was actually about to do a video that combines those dreams of when I died, because there's an interesting pattern that I just discovered like last month about those dreams and how they correlate with the 3D. But I've definitely died twice that I know of for sure. I've been shot multiple times, been stabbed a couple of times. But died definitely twice. 3 times. See, now it's all coming back to me. 3 times that I know for sure off the rip of where I died. How you're physically sleeping definitely limits what you can do in the dream sometimes. Right. So that's another tip for the astral projecting, y'all. The way that you fall asleep will have impact on how your dream is carried out. Some of those dreams that you don't want to come out of, like the sexual ones or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Or just some real interesting shit that you don't want to necessarily come out of early. Sometimes you come out of early because of the way you're sleeping. Also, it could be like sometimes they do construction outside, 8 in the morning. That shit be pissing me off because I hear the sound in my dreams and I'll be like, and then that shit wakes me up. And then I'll be hearing outside. I'll be like, come on, man, with this shit this morning, B. Like, I had some shit that I had to finish in there, man. Y'all fucked it up, man. My kitties always sleep with me. Yeah, them cats be on their shit. Your cats will protect you. Even in the 3D, your cats will protect. Your cats can see the entities that switch frequencies to try to get to you when you're here in the 3D. Because it's all about frequencies, yo. So they be on point. They're like, that's why they so worshipped in Egypt and historically and shit like that. Now, cats can also get wild with it too. They could be on the other side of shit. I know you've seen scary movies with cats and shit too. They trying to like take your breath and shit like that. Not saying that your kitties are gonna do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they have any reason to, but them cats are creepy, man. Cats are fucking creepy, yo. They deep though. Actually met the previous night at a friend's house. It was amazing. I always wake before when I die. Yeah, on numerous occasions I also do as well. Um, I also do as well. But I have experienced it before, and I'm like, oh shit. So it's weird, right? Because you eventually end up waking up anyway, right? But there's something in the dream that lets you know you actually died. And I felt that shit on 3 times at least. I still woke up, but I know in that dream I died. Like I know what that shit feels like. I'm like, oh shit. It gets deep. If I can I would have to actually like format that video in an order to actually do it correctly and so that it makes perfect sense. Y'all minds would be blown by this shit, yo. I see my cats see them sometimes. Yeah, when your cats start like jumping up at shit that's way up the wall and you don't see absolutely nothing, that's them fighting off the demons, B. They fighting them entities, yo. They get the hissing and clawing that shit. You don't see nothing. Nobody, no other animal. Your cat just going ape shit. Yeah. I slept with earplugs for years. Couldn't sleep without them. Okay. I feel you. What else is a good way? And now that technology has advanced to the level that, well, first of all, if you want to actually project about a particular thing or a particular someone, you can actually daydream about them long enough, strong enough, pause, to where you can go into a dream and dream about them. Don't be disappointed if you don't actually project to see them at that particular time. You may notice that when you forget about it, 2 or 3 days later, you actually end up dreaming about them. Also, pay attention to this. If you know a website where you can look at where the current transits are taking place, the current planetary transits are taking place, look at that and study that before you go to bed. Because what you'll find is, especially where the moon is at, you'll have dreams that pertain to the planetary transits. So you may have a dream about someone that you ain't seen in a long time. They may happen to be a Libra tonight. But you didn't think to piece that together when you woke up from the dream. You're just thinking, okay, I had a dream about someone, so I do know them. They popped up in my dream. Okay, maybe random. But then you wake up and you realize it's Libra season, and you're like, well, wait a minute. It's Libra season. What else was going on in there? Who else did I see in there? Then you seen a Capricorn in there, and you're like, oh, shit. This is over here in Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn. You understand what I'm saying? Lots of times stuff goes down like that. So that can become part of your meditation tool. So even when you're trying to contact somebody or reach someone, you'll know, if you know their zodiac sign, you'll know how to be able to reach them in a simpler or a better time to when it is to go and reach out to them. Yes, when I died in a dream, it wasn't even concerning to me, oddly enough. Like, that would be a nightmare for most people. Right. Like, that shit didn't bother me. It was, I tell you like this, too. Each time that I died in the dream was so significant to my life and other people's lives that I remember those dreams vividly. I didn't have to write them down or nothing. I woke up feeling chosen, like special. Like, why would you show me all of that and then have me go through actually dying so I could fully understand what my guide and what those people are trying to show me and tell me? And I got to bring this back to Earth for a reason. Each time I died, I had to bring that information back to Earth for very significant reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I've been told by several people that I do a lot of work in my sleep. You probably do a lot, yo. It's not over. I tell people all the time, when I'm sleeping, I'm still up, cause I'm doing my thing in there. I'm still working, B. And I dream every night. I astral project. Every time I go to sleep, I astral project. So it's like not ever over. It's a lot of brain power. You feel me? And this also as well. Lastly, the device really assists if you want to dream about like a particular somebody. Go to their profile page right now. Look at it. Dream. Let your thoughts take you to wherever they're supposed to take you to. Maybe with intention, maybe not. Sometimes you don't need intention of what you want to see about them or what you need to see about them. Sometimes it just takes a glimpse or a glance at them, and then you get information that you're supposed to get on them. Right? Now, I don't do all of the writing a letter, writing a name on a piece of paper, folding it up, putting it in a hat, let it sit on the water in the tub, and say Candyman 3 times. I'm not into all of that shit. I'm just giving you the basics. This is all you really need. Use your mind. Use your own body as a vehicle, because this is your spaceship. Motherfuckers want to tell us that we going in a rocket to wherever no. This is the rocket right here, baby. Your vessel, your body is the rocket. That's the spaceship. You are the UFO. You know what I'm saying? My progressed moon is in Pisces. I already was an active dreamer with my natal Aquarius moon. Okay. Pisces moon requires way more rest. Absolutely does. I've been sleeping like a motherfucker with these 2 planets in Pisces. And it's just like, yo, bro, can I stay up a little bit? That's probably why I be doing these lives so damn long and shit, because I'm like, yo, let me stay up. I was sleeping before the live. I was up all day, but I was like, yo, a haze came over me. I listened to my body, B. I went right to sleep. Fuck that. I'm taking a nap. I'll wake up and then I'll do the fucking, I'll do the podcast. You know what I mean? Say Candyman 3 times. Word. Like, you know what I mean? Some people be doing the most, and I'll be like, yo, you really don't need to do all of that. I keep it to myself, though. Like, I'll see some videos and shit of the alleged experts and stuff like that, and I just be like, listen, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing all of the, I'm a musician, so I know what chanting is about and stuff like that. That's where I do my spell work, if I'm gonna do any spell work. But all of it, I'm not going into the forest to get 2 twigs and berries and boiling them under. I'm not doing all of that shit, B. I'm not, no disrespect to the Wiccans and all. I'm not doing all of that shit, B. Because I can get a whole lot done without doing all of that shit, B. I'm just not doing all that, man. We have been getting hit hard with the transits. Yeah, the transits have been transiting more harder than more harder than I would like lately. I'm going to just keep it a beam, like, to the point where I'm just like, yo, I'm kind of like, almost going into my shell, like, because of this shit. Like, the shit is so heavy, I'm just like isolating, and you know what I mean? This is probably the most talking that I've done in the past 2 weeks right here. Keep it a beam with you. Well, also I have Lilith and Venus in Pisces, and my MC Juno and North Node in Gemini. Okay, you flooding me now, girl. Wait a minute, slow down. With my Uranus and South Node and Sagittarius, yeah, that's a lot. It's a fucking lot. But yo, I appreciate y'all for taking the time out and hanging out with me once again. Me hanging out with y'all was a pleasure to come through the Astrology After Dark. You know what I'm saying? I like how this is flowing. I like how this is going. Bars and fucking nice. We already know that. Album dropping soon. But let's continue this up. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be more Libra season information, content that's going to be spoken about for the season. And yeah, so y'all already know what to be prepared for. Also, if you want like more in-depth details of what's going to be on the lives on Friday, you can sign up for my newsletter, which is on my website right here, www.podconfidential.com, and you can enter your email address and get updated on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday I send out a newsletter that informs people on the productions that I am producing. All right, for sure, Nana and everyone else, thanks for coming out. Sweet dreams, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all have them. I hope everybody has a dream to come back with, you heard? All right, until next time, I'm out.